In this video, I'll show you how to build a YouTube clone using Python and Django. We'll cover everything from uploading videos, selecting thumbnails, liking videos, disliking videos, tracking the views, the date posted, as well as having channel pages and all of the other core features that you would need in order to create a YouTube clone. This video is not designed for complete beginners and will cover some more advanced concepts within Django. However, I will be walking through everything I'm doing step by step, and by the end of this video, you'll have a really solid base for creating a video or photo sharing application and handling large amounts of media inside of Django. With that said, let's go ahead and get started and learn how to build this YouTube clone. So before we get into the code, let me show you a quick demo of the finished project so you get an idea of what we'll be building. Okay, so you can see we have the YouTube clone open. By default, you're just kind of on this home page here where you're able to see all of the videos that have been uploaded. Of course, just for the demo, I created a bunch of dummy videos here. So you can see I have a thumbnail, and then if I play this, it's actually a video of me in the desert with some of my friends, and you can see it loads extremely fast. You also have the ability to like or dislike the video, as well as in this case, I could delete it because I am the one who posted this. I also can view users' channel pages so I can see all of the videos that they have uploaded. Same thing, you'll notice that the videos load quite quickly, and the reason for that is we're actually going to be using a streaming technique, which I'll talk about later, in order to load the videos. Perfect, you also have the ability to upload a video, so again, you could select the video file, select the thumbnail, right, enter the description and the title, and then it will be uploaded to the platform. There's a few other features, but generally speaking, that's pretty much it. You also could log out, so now if I want, I can sign in, or sign up for a new account, and all of this is done using Django. Now, if you're wondering how we're going to handle all of the media here, like the photos and videos, which is notoriously pretty difficult, especially to make load quickly, for that, I have to thank ImageKit. It's going to quickly pop up their website here, which is the sponsor of this video and a long-term partner. Now that said, they are free. They have a free forever plan, so you do not need to pay to use this. And this allows you to automatically optimize video as well as photo, as well as apply a bunch of transformations to the content as you're going to see as we go through this video. Whole point is this makes it very, very easy for us to create an application like this. It directly works inside of Python with the Python SDK and also supports other front-end frameworks like React or Next.js, for example, with built-in video players and their own SDKs. Regardless, very good platform, and I'm going to show you how we use this inside of Django to handle all of the media like the thumbnails and the videos. But with that said, let's go to our code editor and let's start setting up this project. All right, so I'm inside of my code editor here, and for this particular video, I'm going to be using PyCharm. Now, you can use anything that you like, but I typically do recommend PyCharm for large Python projects because, well, it is designed specifically for Python, has some of the best autocomplete and features for Python-related applications. If you want to use PyCharm for free, you can do that by clicking the link in the description. I have a long-term partnership with them, so you're able to get a few free months of their pro subscription if you use my link down below to test out the tool and see if you like it. Regardless, what I'm going to do here inside of PyCharm is I've just opened a new folder. This folder I've called YouTube clone, and I've just put it on my desktop. So just open a folder in some kind of editor, whatever you want to use, and then go to your terminal. And inside of this folder, what I'm going to do is initialize a new UV project. So I'm going to type UV, init, and then dot to start setting up our virtual environment. Now again, you can use anything that you like here, but I recommend using UV. And if you're unfamiliar with it, I'll put a video on screen right now that shows you how it works. Okay. So from here, I'm now going to add the Python projects or packages, that I need for this project. So I'm going to type UV init dot and then UV add Django, ImageKit IO because we're going to use that SDK later, and then python.env for loading environment variable files. Okay, so from here, we're going to go ahead and press enter, and we'll see that all of those have been added here directly to our project, and we can see them inside of this pyproject.toml with our different dependencies. Now, inside of PyCharm, what I'm going to do here is just quickly set up my Python interpreter, then I'll be right back and we'll start setting up our Django project. Okay, perfect. So my interpreter is set up. So what I'm going to do now is just delete this main.py file because I no longer need this. So let's find the delete button here, but we'll keep the rest of the files. Now what we're going to do is set up our Django project. Now in order to do that, we're just going to run the Django admin command, which is going to create a new Django project with kind of a template for us. So to do that, we're going to type UV run and then Django-admin and then start project. And then we're going to give this a name. In my case, I'm just going to call this YouTube. Okay. So when I do that, it should create a new Django project in this directory for us. We can see we have the YouTube folder now. Inside of here, we have our manage.py file, as well as the kind of boilerplate Django application called YouTube. Now that we're here, what we're going to do is add a new app to our Django project. We're actually going to have two apps for this Django project. The first is going to be the accounts app, where we're going to handle all of the user authentication. So like signing in, signing out, etc., right, with the Django auth. Then we're going to have another app, which is going to handle all of our videos. So uploading video, deleting a video, viewing it on a user's channel page. So we have kind of a clear separation here between the applications. So in order to create an app in Django, we're going to cd into this new YouTube project, because this is the Django project. We're going to type uv run, and then django-admin, and then start app, and this is going to be accounts. Now, when we do that, it's going to create a new accounts application right inside of this YouTube folder for us. So now we have YouTube, which is kind of like the root directory, and then we have accounts, which is going to handle all of our user authentication. So we're going to start by handling all of the user auth. Then after the auth is finished, what we're going to do is go and start working with all of the video related features. However, I do just want to quickly create a .env file inside of this YouTube directory. So I'm going to make a new file, new, and then .env. And inside of here, I'm going to put a few environment variables that I'm going to need for later on in the project when we start working with ImageKit. So what we'll do is we'll go to ImageKit. We're just going to make a free account here. So I'm going to leave a link to ImageKit in the description where you can register and sign up for free. And I'm going to show you how we can get the various variables that we need. And then we'll start configuring this later on and setting up all of the optimization for videos, photos, etc. So go to ImageKit. Again, you can just use imagekit.io or use my link in the description. It's free. You don't need to pay for it. And once you have created an account, what we're going to do here is go to our developer options. And we're going to look for our public key as well as our private key. These are the two variables that we're going to need. Okay, so we're going to copy the public key to start. And we're going to go to our project here. And we're going to make a variable called ImageKit underscore public, if we spell this correctly, underscore key is equal to, and we're going to paste the public key. And then we're going to make another variable, and this is going to be ImageKit underscore private underscore key. And same thing, we're now going to paste the other variable, this time the private key. So let's view this. We're going to have to enter our password to see it. Okay, and we're going to paste it here and make sure you don't leak that to anyone. You don't want to share your private key. Okay, so now that we have the variables here from ImageKit, I'm just going to close this .env file. Make sure you've just got that inside of your directory here. And what we're going to do is go into this accounts folder, which is where we're going to do the kind of majority of the work, at least to start, where we start setting up everything related to actually signing in, signing out, etc. Now, if you've worked with Django before, you know that Django can handle all of this automatically for us, but it does require a little bit of configuration and us essentially setting up, for example, like what the login page looks like, what the sign up page looks like, and a few other kind of various settings. Now, in our case, when a user signs up, we want to collect actually some additional information from them as well, outside of what Django collects by default. So by default, Django will collect the email as well as a password. Now, in our case, we're going to have an email, a password, and we want a username. So it's going to require us kind of changing the default user model a little bit, which I'll share with you in a minute, and setting up a few URLs again for signing in, signing up, etc. So first things first, actually, we're going to go into the YouTube directory, so the inner YouTube directory, and we're going to go to settings.py. We're going to go to installed apps, and we're just going to make sure that we add the accounts application to the installed app, because this is an app that we've created and we now need to add it to our Django project. We're also now going to create a few directories inside of the accounts folder to store some of the files that we're going to create. So the first folder that I'm going to create here is going to be called templates, okay? So inside of accounts, we're going to make a folder called templates, and then inside of templates, we're going to make a new folder, and this is going to be called accounts. Now, it's important that these match exactly what you see here. So we have templates, and then we have accounts, and the accounts needs to match the same name you used when you created this application. So if you called this app something else, then this folder right here needs to be the same name as whatever this application. Now, inside of our templates, we're going to create a few HTML templates. We'll write the code for them later, but these are the ones that we need for now. So first, we're going to have a logged underscore out.html. This is what's going to be rendered when someone logs out. Okay, so let's just add that there. We're now going to make another one, and this is going to be called register.html. Same thing, you can guess, this is what's going to show when we register. And then we're going to have another one, and this is going to be called login.html. It's important you name them exactly what you see here. Okay, so we've created the templates directory, we've created the accounts directory, and we've created 3 HTML templates that are going to render some of the login information for us for our application. Now, what we're also going to do is we're going to create a few directories that are in the base of our Django project. So inside of this YouTube folder, the big folder, like the outside folder, we're going to make a folder called static. Inside of static, we're going to make a new folder here, and we're going to call this CSS, and this is where we're going to put all of the styling for our application, which we'll put there in a minute. And we're going to make another new file here, or another new folder, sorry, and this is going to be called templates. Okay, I know there's a lot of stuff, but I'm just trying to set up kind of the scaffolding of the project so that everything's in the right place before we go much further. And then lastly, inside of templates, we're going to make another new file and call this base.html, which is going to be a base template for our application. So just to recap, inside of accounts, we made this template folder that had 3 templates, right? So we have templates, accounts, and then logged out, log in, and register. Then inside of the base YouTube folder, or our base Django project, we created a static folder, and inside of that, a CSS folder for storing our static CSS or styling for the application. We then created a templates folder. This is a different templates folder inside the root of our project with a base.html. Okay, so that's all that we need for now, and this base.html is going to represent the HTML template, which kind of sets the theme and is the base, including things like the nav bar, for example, for our entire website. So everything will be rendered inside of this base template, so we'll override, for example, a main content block, but keep the overall kind of theme and look of the website, as well as loading all of our styling, etc. Okay, perfect. Now, what I'm also going to do, just before we go any further, is I'm going to go inside of static, I'm going to go inside of CSS, and I'm going to paste a bunch of pre-made styling files or CSS files that I already wrote before this video, because I'm not going to be styling the entire application from scratch with you, because that just takes a massive amount of time, and it's not really worth it, because the point of this video is not to teach CSS. So what I'm going to do is paste all of these files inside of here. Okay, so you can see these are the ones that I'm pasting. And if you want to see where you can find these yourself, because obviously you're not going to write them all from scratch, what you can do is simply go to the link in the description. There'll be a link that says this code for the video, or like GitHub link or something along those lines. If you press into that and you simply go to the same directory within the GitHub repo that's linked below, as you can see here, you'll be able to see all of these CSS files. So auth, base, buttons, forms, messages, navbar, upload, all of this will be available there. You can simply download the file, or you can copy and paste the code into the corresponding file name here inside of the project. So then we have all of the CSS already set up, and we don't need to do all of the styling completely from scratch. And of course, you can adjust the styling and, fix it as you would like if you don't like something that's here. Okay. So there we go, we have the static, we have all of our styling written inside of there, and now what we're going to start doing is writing the code inside of our accounts for allowing users to sign in and to sign out. So to start, inside of accounts, we're going to make a new file, and we're going to call this forms.py. Now inside of forms, we're going to create a custom user registration form that we're going to use and render inside of one of our templates. The reason that we need this is because, again, like I mentioned, when a user is created, we want to ask them to enter a username. So that requires that we actually modify the default user in Django, which doesn't have that. So what we're going to say is from django.contrib.auth.forms import, and this is going to be the user creation form, like so. We're then going to say from django.contrib.auth.models, and we're going to import the user object. Then we're going to create a class, and this is going to be called custom user and then creation form, and it's going to inherit from the user creation form, which is the default in Django. We're then going to say class, and this is going to be called meta. We're going to say model is equal to user to specify that we're actually going to be creating this user object here. And we're then going to specify the fields that we want included in this form. So the fields, it's going to be username. We're going to have email. We're going to have password 1 and password 2, because we asked for a confirmation password when we create the user. Then we're going to have a method called save. So we're going to say define save. We're going to say self, and then commit is equal to true, which just means when we run this, it's automatically going to commit this to our database. And we're going to say user is equal to super, and then dot save, and then commit is equal, like this, to false. We're then going to say user.email is equal to self.cleanData, and then email. And we're going to say if commit user.save, and then we're going to return the user. So essentially what we're doing here is creating a custom save method, which is going to save all of the details about the user using the default save method. So this is the one that's written by default with user creation form, but we've extended it. And then we're just adding the user's email and then saving the model. Now, actually, I need to correct myself because earlier I was saying by default Django doesn't include the username. What I meant is that it doesn't include the email, not the username. So that's why we've included the email here, and we're saving the email rather than just saving the username. So again, excuse me there, Django has the email, but it doesn't automatically ask for it in the user creation. So we've just now created the form. So we are going to ask the user for their email as well as a username because that's something we want for this particular project. Okay. So we now have this custom form created. What we're going to do next is we're going to start writing the different views that we need for actually saving and creating the user. So from views.py, which is a file that should already be created, what we're going to do is start importing a few things that we need. So we're going to say from Django.contrib, and then this is going to be .auth import, and then we're going to import the login function. This is something you can use to log in a user. We're then going to say from Django.contrib, .views.generic. We're going to import the create view. We just need the create view for now. We're then going to say from Django.urls, import the reverse lazy. This is how we're going to load a custom path essentially. And we're going to say from .forms, this is the file we just wrote. We're going to import the custom user creation form that we handled or that we wrote before. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to write a custom register view. So we're going to say class register view. This is going to inherit from the create view, and we're going to say the form underscore class is equal to the custom user creation form. We're going to say the success URL is going to be reverse lazy, and then we're going to say accounts : login. What this is going to do is it's going to automatically redirect us to the login URL after we create an account if the account creation is successful. And then we're going to have the template underscore name. And this is going to be equal to accounts / and then this will be register.html. Okay, and we're then going to say define dispatch. This is a method that we need to override. We're going to take in request and then *args and *kwarg, sorry. We're going to say if request.user.isAuthenticated, then we're going to return a redirect, which is also something that we need to import here. So from Django.shortcuts, rather than render, we're going to import redirect, okay? And we're going to redirect to just the home page, which is /. Otherwise, we're going to say return super.dispatch, and we're just going to dispatch with the request, and then this is going to be *args and *kwargs, okay? Then we're going to have define form underscore valid. We're going to take in self and the form, and what we're going to do is say the response is equal to super, okay, and then .form underscore valid with the form, and then we're going to say login, and we're going to log in the self.request and the self.object, and we're going to return a redirect for the homepage. Okay, so let me kind of explain what's going on here. Essentially, what we've done is we've said, okay, we're going to create a custom form that we can render on the screen. This form is going to be the same as the user creation form, but with our custom attribute of adding the user's email. So we've specified, okay, we're going to use the form class of our custom user creation form, right? We're going to have the success URL be this. So if the form is successfully submitted, we're going to go and log in the user or bring them to that page. We then have the template name. This is what we're actually going to render on screen, so the HTML to show. Dispatch is what we're going to do once the form is submitted. Now, if the form is submitted, we're going to check if the user is authenticated. If they are, then we're just going to redirect them to the home page. Now, if they're not already authenticated, what we're going to do is we're going to dispatch this to the original essentially dispatch function, which will check to make sure all of this stuff is valid when creating the new user and registering them. And then we have a form valid function, which is something we'll call before we actually dispatch or submit the form. And what this is going to do is just check if the form is valid, again, using the original function that checks if the form is valid. And then we're going to log in the user and redirect. Okay, so hopefully that is good and makes sense. Again, if you want all the details on this, you can read it from the Django documentation, but essentially a custom form to allow us to collect the user's email as well. And then this is the view that's going to kind of render that form for us and be usable when we start kind of creating the URLs that we need for this, what should I call it? App, Django application. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're going to make a new file inside of accounts, and this is going to be urls.py. Now this is where we're going to start setting up all of the redirects and all of the URLs and routing for our application. So from here, we're going to say from Django.urls import path. We're also going to say from Django.contrib.auth import views as the auth_views. We're then going to say from dot import views. So we're going to import views from this current application. We're then going to say our app name is equal to accounts. And we're going to define a variable, make sure you call it exactly this, URL patterns. And this is going to be equal to a list. Now, effectively, what we're going to do here is put the different routes that we need. So the routes that we need for our accounts is a register route to create a new account, a login route to sign into an existing account, and a log out route or log out URL. So we're going to start specifying the paths. The first is going to be register. Okay, let's spell this correctly, register and then slash. And what we're going to do is when we go to this register route, we're going to render the views.registerView.as_view. Okay, and we're going to say the name is equal to register. And that's what we wrote, that custom view, so we can render the custom registration page. We're then going to say path. Okay, and here we're going to go login and then slash. And we're going to have the auth views dot login view. This is a default view that's already provided by Django, so we don't need to write it. And we're going to say as view. And then we're going to override the template. So we're going to say the template name is equal to accounts, okay, slash login dot HTML. And we're going to say redirect authenticated user is equal to true, which means if you go to this page and you're already signed in, we're automatically going to redirect you. And then we are going to put as another variable here, name is equal to login. Okay. And then lastly, we're going to have another path for logout. This is going to be logout and then slash. And same thing, we're going to render the auth views.logoutView.asView. This time we need to, same thing, put the template. So the template name is going to be account slash logout.html, and the name of the view is logout. So what we're doing is saying, okay, this is the register view. If you go to register, we want to use this particular view from Django, which is going to submit our custom form and allow us to actually view that. If we go to login, we want to use this view, right, where we're saying where the template is. And then if you go to logout, same thing, we want to use this view where we're showing where the HTML template is. Okay, so that is it for setting up the URLs for this application. But now what we need to do is we need to connect the URLs from our accounts application to our main application. So in order to do that, we have to go into this nested YouTube folder and go to urls.py. Now from this file, what we're going to do is add the include function to this import right here. Now that we have include, we're going to set up another path. This is going to say path, and then it's going to be accounts slash, and we are going to include, okay, so use this include function, and then accounts.urls. What this is now going to do is anytime we go to an accounts route, so account slash something, it's going to forward anything after this slash to this URL handler right here that we just wrote. So now if you go to account slash register, account slash login, account slash logout, it's going to render these particular views, which are inside of this accounts, app that we've created. So we just need to connect that to the main application, which is what we just did here from this urls.py file. Okay, so let's make sure that we save that. And now we are almost done. However, we are going to go into our YouTube folder, into settings.py, and we're just going to create a few settings that we need here in terms of doing kind of the custom user authentication with Django. So we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom of the file, and right after we have static URL, we're going to create another variable called static file directories, which is equal to a list. And inside of here, we're going to put the base underscore directory slash and then static. The reason why we're doing this is because we've created this root folder called static, which includes all of the CSS for our project. So I'm just including that so we make sure Django sees that and uses it inside of the project when it's running. And then we're going to have login underscore redirect underscore URL. This is going to be equal to a /. This is the redirect that we go to when we successfully log in. We're also then going to have the logout underscore redirect underscore URL. Same thing. If you log out, where do you go after? In this case, just / or the home page. And then we're going to have the login URL, which will be brought to if we're required to log in for an operation. And this is going to be accounts/login and then /. Okay, so if you've added these variables here, then we're good to go. And what we can do now is we can start writing the HTML templates for our application so we can test out the user authentication and then move on to handling all of the YouTube video kind of uploading related stuff. Okay, so the first template that we need to write here is the base template. So inside of the root directory, templates, and then base.html, this kind of sets the overall theme of the website. And then all of the other HTML templates are rendered inside of this using the Django templating engine, or kind of the blocks, which you may have seen if you've learned Django before. Regardless, what we're going to do at the beginning of our file here is we're going to type load and then static. Okay. Now, when we do that, that's going to load all of the static files that we potentially need to use inside of this folder, like the CSS styles. We're then going to specify our doc type. So we're going to say !doc type and then HTML like so. And then we're going to create the root HTML tag with the language set to English. Okay. Now, inside of the HTML, we're going to create a head tag. We're also going to create a body tag. So let's do that. And we're going to start writing our code inside of here. So let's start with the head tag. Inside of the head tag, we're going to have a meta tag. Okay. And we're going to say the char set is equal to UTF-8. Okay. Like that. Then we're going to have another meta tag. We're going to say meta, and we're going to say name is equal to viewport. Then we're going to have the content is equal to width equal to device, okay, dash width, and then comma, initial underscore, sorry, not underscore, dash scale is equal to 1.0. We then are going to have a title block, and inside of the title block, we're going to have a block that we create. So we're going to say block title, and then we're going to say %%, and then end block, like so. And the default title that we're going to use is going to be YouTube clone. Now, when you create these blocks here inside of this file, this means this is something that's overridable that we can change on different pages that inherit from this HTML template. So in another HTML page that's inheriting from this template, we're able to change essentially what the title of the page is going to be. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring in some CSS that we need. So we're going to load in all of the CSS style sheets that we've written. The way that we're going to do that is by using these link tags. I've just copied them in. So we're going to load in variables, base.css, navbar, messages, buttons, forms, etc. And we're going to create a block, which is going to allow us to load in more CSS if needed. So we're going to say block extra underscore CSS. And then we're going to say %, and then end block. Okay, so that's going to complete the head. Now what we're going to do is we're going to write the rest of the body, okay? So we're going to go inside of the body and we're going to create essentially the content that we want to always exist on every single page of our website, which for us is simply going to be a nav bar, which kind of shows if the user signed in or not. So we're going to create an element called nav. Now for the nav, it's going to have a class name equal to, or actually not class name, just class, because we're not in React here, which is going to be nav bar. Then inside of the nav, we're going to have some nav elements. So we're going to have an a tag, we're going to have href is equal to, and this is going to be slash to go to the home page. We're going to say the class is equal to nav bar dash brand. Then inside of the link, we're going to have a span. For the span, we're going to have class equal to brand dash icon. I'm just going to put a little arrow symbol here. You could put anything that you want. You can put emoji or something if you want. And then I'm going to put YouTube clone. Okay, cool. So this is going to be kind of like the thing on the left side of the nav bar that if you press on, it brings you back to the home page. Now, beneath that, we're going to have UL, okay, so unordered list. We're going to have class is equal to navbar-nav. And then inside of the unordered list, we're going to first check if the user is authenticated or not. So we're going to have 2%. We're going to put an if statement, and we're going to say if user.is_authenticated. So if they are authenticated, then what we're going to do is show a different nav style than if they aren't. So if they are authenticated, we're going to have a list element. Inside of the list element, we're going to have an A. We're going to have href is equal to, and then what we're going to put is %% and then URL, and this is going to go in single quotation mark to videos:upload, like so. So we're essentially going to say, okay, if you press this, we want to link to videos and then upload. So this is going to look in the videos app for the upload route. That's essentially what we're saying, rather than hard coding the URL in case we were to change it later in the application. Then for the A tag, we're going to have a class. This class is going to be nav-link, and then btn dash, and this is going to be upload. And then for the text, we're just going to call this upload. Okay, and let's make this a little bit smaller so you guys can read it. Okay, let's have another list element. So we're going to have li, and then this time we're going to have a span. For the span, we're going to have class equal to the nav-username, and then we're going to put a variable, which you do using 2 sets of curly braces, and this is going to be the user.username, like so. So if the user is signed in, then we can access their username, and we can show it on screen. We're then going to have another li, and this is going to be a form. Okay, for the form, we're going to say method is equal to, and this is going to be post. And what this is going to do is have an action, and this action is going to go to %%, and this in single quotes is going to be URL, and then we're going to specify accounts : logout. Okay, and then close the single quotation mark. We're then going to have a class, and this is going to be logout dash form, like so. Now inside of the form, we're going to have the following, which is going to be %, and then CSRF_token, which you need whenever you're using forms inside of a template in Django. This is for security. And then we're going to have a button. The button is going to say type equal to submit. Okay, and we're going to say class is equal to, and this is going to be nav-link btn-outline, and then logout-btn. And this is simply going to say logout. So now if you press this button, it's going to submit this form. This form is going to send the request to the logout page, which is going to log the user out. Okay, so that's it if the user is authenticated, but else, so we're going to put %, and then else to kind of finish this block here. Otherwise, we're going to show something else. So the li elements that we're going to show is just to sign in or to sign out. So we're going to have li, we're going to have an h, we're going to say href is equal to, and then same thing, we need to do this dynamic URL. So we're going to say URL, make sure in single quotes, you have accounts, : login. Then we're going to have class. The class is going to be nav-link, and we're going to have inside of the A tag sign in. Okay, now we're going to copy this exact thing and paste it down below. Not login, sorry, but register. And we're going to change nav-link. We're going to make this btn primary, and rather than sign in, we'll just call this sign up. Okay, and then we need to end this whole block. So we're going to go %, and then end if. Make sure we spell that correctly, like so that we end kind of this navbar if statement that we have. Okay, so that's going to complete the navbar. Now, the next thing that we're going to do after this is we're going to create kind of the main content section of our website. So we're going to say main. Now, the first thing that we'll do is we'll set the class name for main. So we'll say class is equal to main-content. And then we're going to create essentially a kind of dynamic area that's going to show any messages, like error messages, for example, on the screen. Because in Django, you can create a message or like raise a message through a template. So we're going to show any of those messages kind of at the top of the screen here. So to do that, we're going to go %, and we're going to say if messages. So if there's any messages, we're going to show them. We're going to have a UL. Now for the UL, this is going to be class equal to messages. Inside of the UL, we're going to have a for loop. So we're going to say %, and then this is going to be for message in messages. And we're going to have an li. So for every message we have, we're going to display it on the screen. The class is going to be equal to message. And we're going to have in a set of braces here, message.tags. And then we're going to actually display what the message is here, which could be success, could be error, could be warning, etc. And then we're going to have %, and then end for like so. So we end the for loop. Okay, that's then the UL. Then we're going to have an end if. So %, end if, because we're only doing this if we have messages. And then what we're going to do is create a block. So we're going to say %, block content. This is where we're going to display all of the main content for our site. And we're going to say %, and then end block like so. And then we're going to create one block at the end of main, which is going to be for any extra JavaScript that we want to include inside of our site. So we're going to say block extra underscore JS. And then we're going to go %, and then end block. Okay, so I know that was a lot for the main template, but that is going to complete it. Effectively, we have a bunch of different blocks here that we can override. So we have the content block, we have the JavaScript block, we have the title block, right? We also have the CSS block, and then we have kind of the core of our page, which is the navigation bar, which handles some of the user authentication, kind of showing those buttons if we're signed in, if we're not signed in. So now what we should be able to do is write the individual templates for our accounts application. So the logged out, login, and register templates. Once we do that, we'll be able to actually run the site and then go through the flow of logging in, registering, etc., and seeing if the website updates. After that, we're then finished with the account stuff, and we can move on to actually handling the video, which is, of course, the more interesting part of this tutorial. So let's go now write the rest of the routes. Let's start with a simple one, which is going to be logged out. So for all of these templates now, we want to use that base template that we wrote before. So we're going to say extends, and then in single quotes, base.html. This now means we're going to use everything from this base template, and we can start overriding some of those blocks. Now we're also going to say %, and then load static to load any static files that we need. And we're going to start overriding some of the blocks. So the first block is going to be the block title, and we're going to say signed out, and then we'll just go YouTube clone as the title for this page. We're then going to go another one, so %, and then end block like so. Okay, now let's go below here and let's create a new block. So we're going to say block, and this is going to be extra underscore CSS because we're going to bring in a little bit of CSS here. We're going to go %, okay, and then end block. And for this, we're going to link a style sheet. So we're going to say link, okay, we're going to say rel is equal to style sheet. And we're going to say the href is going to be equal to, in double quotes, this is going to be %, okay? And this is going to say static. And we're going to say, with single quotes, make sure you do the quotes correct, css/auth.css. So we're going to load that for this particular file. Okay, so I think that should be good for the extra CSS. Then we're going to override the content block. So we're going to say block like this, okay, and then content, and then we're just going to go ahead and end the block already to make sure we don't forget. And then inside of the content block, we're essentially just going to write a little bit of a container that tells the user, hey, like you've been signed out. So we're going to go with the div. We're going to say class is equal to, and we'll just say, what is this? The success dash container. Then we're going to have an h1, and we're going to say signed out. Then we're going to have a paragraph tag, and we're going to say, you have been signed out, ... And then we're just going to have a button that will bring them back to the home page. So we're going to say href is equal to, same thing, we need a dynamic URL, so %, URL, and then single quotes, and this is going to be accounts, login. We're going to have class equal to btn, and then btn dash primary. Then we're going to close that, and we're going to say sign in again like so. And that should be it for this particular template. Okay, now what we're going to do is just copy this entire template, and we're going to paste it to our login template, because for login, this is going to be very similar. We're just going to change essentially what we're doing inside of the blocks. So we're going to keep most of this the same, but we're just going to change this to sign in rather than logged out. We're going to keep the extra CSS because we need that auth content. And then we're going to remove everything inside of block content, and we're going to rewrite the content based on what we need for this login page. So we're going to say div. We're going to say class is equal to auth dash container. Okay, now inside of here, we're going to have a div. We're going to call this one the auth header. So we're going to say auth dash header. We're then going to put our h1. So we're going to say welcome back. We're then going to put a paragraph tag, and we're going to say sign in to continue with YouTube clone. Okay, and then we're going to have our form, which is going to be the sign in form. So we're going to say method is equal to post, and we're going to say class is equal to the auth dash form, and then we can start writing the form. Okay, now for our form, we're going to go %% and then CSRF underscore token, because again, we need that whenever we are doing a form inside of Django for security. The form is essentially just going to be rendering kind of like the username and password field, and then it's going to automatically submit that to the Django backend, which will then check if the username and password are correct. So that's kind of what we're setting up here. Now, the first part of the form is that I'm going to render any errors that have occurred. So effectively what will happen is because we have this route and it's connected to Django's kind of built-in authentication, it will include any errors that have already happened in this submission of this form. And if there are errors, I need to render them on screen. Now there's variables that will automatically be passed to this template. For example, like if the user is authenticated, that's a variable that automatically gets passed into the templates from Django. There's other ones like the form. When we're loading the login form, there's a form that we have access to here, which shares with us any details that were submitted previously, as well as if there was an issue, for example, with the form. So we can check that variable, see if there were some errors, and if there were errors, we can display them on the screen, which is what I'm going to do in this code block that you'll see right now. And that's exactly why what we did previously is when we had the register form, we overrode that form by adding in that extra value, the email, which you'll see in a second we'll use when we write the register form here, the register template. Okay, so from our login form, what we're going to do is we're going to say %%, and we're going to say if form.errors. Okay, so this is a variable that tells us if there was errors in the submitted form. So if that's the case, and actually let me just end the if right now so I don't forget. So I'm going to say end if. So if that's the case, what we're going to do is we're just going to make an unordered list of all of the errors that occurred because there could be more than one. So we're going to say class is equal to error dash list like so. We're then going to put a for loop, and we're going to say for field in form. So we're going to go through every field that's in the form and see if there's an error in that particular field. So in order to do that, we're going to go %%, and we're going to say for error in, and let's not hold that down for too long, field.errors, because for each field there could be multiple errors. So we say for error in field.errors. Then we're going to put an li tag, and for the li, we're just going to render what the error is, like so. Okay, then we are going to end the for, so %% end for. We're going to end the other for, so %% and then end for. And then we are going to put another for loop, and we're going to get the non-field errors. So we have the fields. So we have the fields that we're looping through here. We're then going to do another for loop. We're going to say %% for error in, and this is going to be form.non underscore field underscore errors, another variable that we have access to. And here we're going to put an li inside of this, and same thing. We're going to render the error. We need to have two braces, so let's fix that quickly. Okay, so put the other brace, and then we're going to end this for loop as well. Okay, so %% end for. Perfect. And then we're going to end the UL, which I think is already ended. Okay, perfect. And we should be good to go there. We have the end if, we have the end UL, we have the end for, just making sure we have all of that. And this is going to handle kind of showing any of the errors that could potentially occur in our form. Lastly, we need to actually create the form. So to make the form, we're going to have some divs inside of here. We're going to have class equal to form-group. Okay, and now inside of the form group, we're going to start with a label. So we're going to start by doing the username. We're going to have for is equal to, and this is going to be ID underscore username. Okay, and then we're going to put username like so. Then we're going to have an input. For the inputs, we're going to say type is equal to text. We're going to say name is equal to username. It's very important that you name it this because Django will look for this field. We're going to have ID equal to ID underscore username, and we're going to have class equal to form-input. Let's then go down to the next line, and we're going to say placeholder is equal to, and let's spell placeholder correctly, and this is going to be enter your username, and we're going to make this a required field, and we're going to say autofocus is true. Okay, so that's the first field that we need. All right, so this is the username input. We then are going to have the input for the password and then a button to submit. So for this, we're just going to paste the exact same thing. This time the label is going to say password, 4 is going to be ID underscore password. The name is going to be password as you guessed. And the ID, same thing, ID password. And then rather than enter username, we're going to say enter your password. And rather than the type being text, it's going to be password, and autofocus can be off for this one. Okay, so that's pretty good. And then lastly, we're just going to put a button down here. The button is going to say sign in. For the button, we're going to have type is equal to submit. And we're going to say class is equal to BDN dash submit like so. Okay, that's it for the form. And then beneath here, we're just going to put something that says, hey, don't have an account, create an account here. So we're going to have div, we're going to have class is equal to the auth dash footer. Then down here, we're going to say don't have an account question mark, and we're going to put an a tag. The a tag is going to be href equal to, and then same thing here, we need this dynamic URL. So we're going to say URL and then single quotes, and inside of the single quotes is going to be accounts colon register. And then we're going to say create one like so here. So that should be it for the login template. We're almost done. We're just going to finish the register template. So I'm going to copy this entire thing and I'm going to paste this inside of register because we're going to use some very similar content here. So now let's go to register. And then after this, I promise we can test things out. So rather than sign in, we're going to say create account. Same thing, we're going to load in this extra auth. For the auth header, rather than welcome back, we're going to say create account. And we'll change this text to say join YouTube clone, okay, and start sharing. But beneath this, we're going to keep the exact same error rendering because that's what we need. We're going to have some form groups that are actually identical to what you see here, except there's just a few very minor changes. So we're going to keep all of this, but we're just going to make a few minor changes. So rather than enter your username, we're going to say choose a username. So choose a username like so. That would also be required and autofocus. However, we're also going to have a default value. So we're going to say value is equal to, and the value is going to be a variable. Now for the variable, we're going to say form like this, dot username, dot value, and then pipe. And we're going to say default is going to be single quotes like so. What this is going to do is it's going to check if we already had a username in the previous submission of this form to keep it here, in case, for example, the password was incorrect. And we're going to have a max length equal to 150 characters. Okay, so that's it for the username. Then we're going to have an email. So we're going to copy the same thing. We're going to paste this down here. And we're just going to change these values to now collect the email. So rather than ID username, it's going to be ID email. Rather than username, it's going to be email. Rather than name username, same thing, email, ID email. The type, I believe, can be email as well. I think that's actually a built-in type in HTML. So let's change that here. Make sure they're all just spelt email correctly. And then rather than choose a username, we'll say enter your email. And for the value for this one, same thing, form rather than username dot email dot value. And then we'll remove the autofocus and the maximum length for the email. Okay. So that's the email. Then we're going to have password 1 and password 2. So what we'll do is we'll keep this password 1 right here, but we just need to change the name to say password 1. So change all of the IDs. So, ID password 1, ID password 1. We'll say enter your password. And rather than enter, actually we'll say create a password. And we're just going to add some small text down here. So we're going to put a span with like a helper for the password. So this is going to say class is equal to help dash text. Then this is going to say at least 8 characters, not entirely numeric. Okay, like that. And then we're going to have another one of these. So I'm just going to paste the exact same thing. we're going to remove the helper text because this is going to be the password confirmation. And we're just going to change this to say confirm password. And this is going to be password 2. So we're going to say confirm password. Okay, type password, ID password 2, ID underscore password 2. And then we'll say enter, or I guess just confirm your password. And then a few small things here. Rather than signing in, this is going to be create account. So let's do that. And rather than don't have an account, we just change this to say already have an account. So already have an account question mark. Then we're just going to change this to go to log in. And we will change this to say sign in. Okay. So that should be it for our templates. Notice it's pretty much exactly the same, but we just changed the fields now to match what we have for that custom register form. So we have the username, we have the email, we have the password 1 and the password 2. And now what we can do is actually run our application. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into YouTube. So we're going to type uv run and then manage.py, and we're going to say migrate. This is just going to make sure that we apply all of the changes in terms of linking this account's application. So we're going to migrate, so everything is now set up and good to go. We're then going to type uv run manage.py and then run server, and that should run our application. I already have it running at another port, so let me just remove that, and then when we run this, we should be good. Okay, and we can see this is running, and now we can open up the application by just pressing this, and putting it inside of our URL bar. And if we go to /accounts/login, for example, we got an error here saying accounts login does not exist. Okay, let me have a quick look here and see what the problem is. Okay, so I was just having a look here, and for some reason, it wasn't able to find our base template. And I just realized here that I need to actually change something inside this templates variable in my settings in the YouTube folder, nested in the first YouTube folder. So you just go into settings here. We're going to go to this DIRs folder, and we're just going to add the base directory / and then templates. Now, when we do that, it's going to add base.html as a template that's essentially findable by the rest of our application, so we can find it from any app. So let's see now if we go back here and we refresh if we're good to go. And notice there we are. We now have our sign in as well as our sign up page, and we can change between them. So what we should try now is creating an account. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go like Tim123 or something. Okay, so I just put in the details. Let's go create account. And then same thing, we got an error here because it's redirecting us to the home page. However, we don't have the home page yet. So let's just go back to, /accounts, okay, /login. Okay, and it's still giving me an issue where if I try to go to essentially the register page or the login page, it's not letting me because I'm already signed into my account. But I'm pretty confident that this is working, and what we just need to do now is make essentially a /route or a home page so we can see when we're signed in that this is working properly. So let's handle that quickly to kind of confirm that this is all good. But I believe at this point the sign in and the register are indeed working, and we were able to see those pages. All of the templates are working, which is good. So as I was saying, what we need to do now is build the home page. In order to build that page, we're actually going to build the whole kind of video app now, where we'll handle uploading videos, displaying videos, liking them, etc. So let's go back into our terminal here. I'm just going to create a new terminal, and I'm going to cd into my YouTube. Okay. So from here, what I'm going to do is run the command uv run, and then this is going to be Django-admin, and then start app, and this time we're going to call it videos. So we're going to make a new app now called videos. So let's make that inside of this YouTube directory. So we now have videos, and what we're going to do is go to YouTube, go to settings, and we are going to add videos here in the installed apps. Okay, so now videos is added inside of here, and we've kind of linked to that project. We're also just going to set up the URLs really quickly so we don't forget to do that, where we're going to go here, and we're going to say path, and I think we'll just go with / for this one, but I'm going to check my notes here, and we're going to go include, and then this is going to be videos.urls. Okay, and actually rather than / we just leave this empty, so all of the URLs will be redirected now to video.urls if they don't start with accounts or admin. Okay. Perfect. So now let's just close all of these for right now. Let's go into videos and let's make some files that we need. So first we need a directory. We need this to be called templates. And then inside of templates, we need a new directory called videos. Needs to match the name of our application. Then we need a new file. This is urls.py. And we need another new file, and this one is forms.py. And then lastly, we need one more here, and this is going to be called ImageKit _ client.py. Okay, perfect. So now we have the files that we need inside of here. Awesome. So what we're going to do now that we're inside of our videos project is we're going to start working on the ability to upload a video. So I want to start by defining my video model. So essentially how we're going to store a video in the database. And once we have that, then it will be a little bit easier for us to understand how we're going to be uploading it. So inside of models.py, what we're going to do is import models here from Django. And we're also going to say from Django.contrib.auth.models import the user. Then we're going to go down here and we're going to say class video, and this is going to inherit from a models.model. Now this is where we're going to define all of the keys that a video needs to have. Now a video is going to have a user who uploaded it, a title, a description. It's then going to have the file associated with it, and this is where we'll start getting into ImageKit, where we're going to be uploading the videos with ImageKit, essentially getting the URL for that video from ImageKit and then storing it inside of this video. Now we'll also go a step further in a minute here, and we'll optimize the video URLs and quality so that we can load them extremely fast. And we'll use something called adaptive bitrate streaming, which is going to allow us to load the video very quickly at different resolutions based on the internet bandwidth that we have. Now we'll also do a similar thing for storing the thumbnail and optimizing that. And then on this object as well, we're going to need to store the number of views a video has, the likes and dislikes a video has, when it was created, when it was updated, etc. So let's get started. First thing, let's declare the user that actually uploaded this. So this is going to be a models.foreign key. We're going to say the foreign key is to the user. On delete is models.cascade. And we're going to say the related name is equal to videos. So on the user, we can store all of the user's videos with this .videos field. We're then going to have a title. This is models.character field. We're just going to say max length is equal to 120. And then we're going to say the description is a models.text field, and we'll say blank equals true, meaning that it can be empty. Then we're going to store the different values for our ImageKit video and thumbnail. So first we're going to say the file ID is equal to models.char field. Okay, we're going to say the maximum length here is equal to 200. We're then going to say the video, so I need to do this here, the video underscore URL is equal to models.url field. Okay, and we'll go not blank equals true, but max length is equal to 500. And we're then going to say the thumbnail URL, we got to put that up here, thumbnail underscore URL is equal to models dot same thing. This will be the URL field, and then max length 500 and blank is equal to true. So what we're going to do with the thumbnails is we're going to allow users to upload the thumbnails. However, if they don't upload one, we're just automatically going to take a thumbnail from the first frame of the video, and we'll be able to accomplish that really easily using ImageKit, like you'll see in a minute. We're then going to start tracking the views. So we're going to say views is equal to model dot, and this is going to be positive integer field. So positive integer field like that. And we're going to set the default equal to 0. We're then going to say the likes is equal to models.positive integer field default 0, and the dislikes, same thing, default 0. We'll then store the created at, so this is a model.datetime field, auto add now equal to true, and an updated at, this time just auto now equal to true. Okay, lastly, we're going to have meta here, so we're going to say class meta, and we're going to say ordering is equal to, and this is going to be negative created at. So this is going to store them in the database based on their created at date, so we can access them in that order. And then we're going to say define underscore string self, and we're just going to return self.title. So if we're debugging here or printing out the video, we can see it a little bit easier. Okay, so that's all that we need for our video. Later, we will create a few more properties on this video in terms of grabbing the thumbnail URL, the optimized streaming URL, all of those things for the video. But for now, this is the information that we're going to store. So when a user uploads it, they're going to upload a title, a description, and then a video file, and optionally a thumbnail. And we're going to store that again, upload to ImageKit, get the URLs, and then store it directly in the database. And just to be clear here, we're not actually going to store the videos or thumbnails directly on our own computer or in this database. They're going to be stored by ImageKit. However, if you wanted to connect to your own external storage, for example, with ImageKit, so you were storing it in like an S3 bucket or something like that, you can do that, and I will show you how to set that up later. Okay, so now we have models.py. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a form that we're going to need for uploading a video. So we're going to say from Django in this file forms.py, which we created, we're going to import forms, and then we're going to create a form. So we're going to say class video upload form is going to inherit from forms.form. And we're going to start specifying the fields that we need in this form. So we're going to say forms.char field. Okay, we're going to say the maximum length, this is for our title, is 200. And we're going to say the widget that we want to display for this is forms.text, if we spell this correctly, .text input. And then the attributes are going to be equal to, and we're going to say class, and then form-input, and we're going to say placeholder. Okay, let's spell this correctly. Enter video title. Essentially what we're doing here is we're creating a custom Django form. We can then render this form onto the screen in a template that we create later for uploading our videos, and the widget values that we specify here, we can use them to render the form so that we can dynamically change what the form looks like based on the widget values here. Okay, so that's kind of why we're placing all of these details. So the next thing we're going to bring is a description. For the description, same thing. This is going to be a character field, and we're going to go with required is equal to false. We're then going to do the widget, which is the same as this. So let's copy it because it's going to be actually not a text input, but a text area. For the text area, we're going to have attributes. The class will be form input. The placeholder will be enter video description, and we'll specify the number of rows that we want to display. So we're going to say rows 4, which is essentially like the vertical height of the text area. We're then going to have the video file, and the video file is going to be equal to forms.file field like so. We're going to say widget is equal to forms.file, let's spell this correctly, file input. Okay, and then the attributes here are going to be class, and we need to put this in quotation marks. So we're going to say class form-input, and then we're going to say except, and this is going to be video/asterisk because we're only going to accept video files. Okay, we're then going to have a function in this form. So let's go back here. This is going to be called clean video file. What we're going to do here is essentially make sure that the video is accurate and that it kind of matches the constraints that we're going to specify here. For example, we're only going to allow videos that are less than 100 megabytes for right now. However, you don't have to have that restriction. You can upload anything as large as you want, but I'm just going to show you how you would do that. So I'm going to say video is equal to self, okay, dot cleaned underscore data dot get, and we're going to get the video file. Now, the way that this works is that the form is automatically going to clean the data for us by default when we inherit from the form. So same thing with the video file. We're going to get the clean data video file, and we're going to check it. So we're going to say if video, so if we do have a video, if the video, okay, dot size is greater than 100 times 1024 times 1024, which essentially gives us 100 megabytes, then what we're going to do is raise a forms.validation error, where we're going to say video must be under 100 megabytes. Okay. Then we're going to go down here, and we're going to say allowed underscore types is equal to, and we're going to have video/mp4, we're going to have video/webm, we're going to have video/QuickTime. We're just putting all the formats that we're going to accept here. And we'll also put video/x-ms video, okay, if they're on Windows. And then we're going to go if video dot, this is the content underscore type, is not in the allowed types, then same thing. We're going to raise a validation error, and we're going to say this video type is not allowed. Okay, this video type is not allowed. Perfect. And then if all of that is good, so let's get out of here, we are going to return the video like so. Okay, so this function now can be used to clean the video file specifically to make sure that it is valid. Okay, so now we have the form specified. Next thing we're going to do is go and write the views. So we're going to go to views.py and we're going to write the views related to uploading a video. Then what we're going to do is we're going to create the template for uploading the video, and then we'll be able to test and see if the upload is working. Then after this, we can write the ImageKit related functionality to upload the video to ImageKit. Then we're able to write the template and we can test all of this and see if uploading a video works before we start trying to display it. So we're going to go from Django.shortcuts, import render, as well as get underscore object or 404. We're then going to say from Django.contrib.auth, okay, .decorators, import, and this is going to be login required because you need to be logged in order to upload a video. We're then going to say from Django.http, import the JSON response, and we can say from, okay, Django.views.decorators.http, import, and this is going to be require post, which just means the method type that's sent, it needs to be post, sorry. Then we can say from .models, import the video type that we declared. We can say from .forms, import the video upload form. Okay, so actually I just realized that before we go into this and write this code, we're going to need to write the functionality to actually upload the video to ImageKit. So let me show you kind of how that works, and then we can go in the ImageKit documentation as well and have a look at essentially how this functions. So let's start writing that functionality. So we're going to say import OS. We then are going to say from ImageKit, import ImageKit. Okay, we're going to say define get underscore ImageKit underscore client. And what we're going to do here is just return ImageKit like so. Now, this is the ImageKit client, okay? So this is how you initialize it essentially. And what it's going to do by default is it's going to look for the presence of these private and public key variables inside of your environment variable file. So what this will do automatically is if it finds the private key and the public key, it will initialize with those values for you, which means you can just use this SDK really easily to, for example, upload a video, delete a video, change a video, get the metadata, etc., without having to do anything fancy. Now, if we go over here and we check out the docs for ImageKit, so let's go here and let's go to docs, you'll see that we can go to Python and we can see all of the information about how the Python ImageKit SDK works. So for example, right, we can initialize this. By default, it looks for the private key. And then what we're able to do is if we want to upload something, we can say files.upload, right? We can then open the file. There's also all these transformations that we can use, and there's all kinds of stuff, right, directly from the SDK. I'm going to show it to you, but just showing you that if you want to look at the documentation, you can do it directly from their website, and you can see it's very easy to use this, which is hence why we're using it in this video. Okay, so let's go back here. We have the ImageKit, client initialized. What we're going to do now is we're going to write the function to essentially upload a video. So we're going to say define upload video. Now, when we upload video, we're going to need to take in a file data. This is going to be in the bytes format. Okay, we also need to take in a file name, which will be a string, and then a folder, which will be a string, which defaults to videos that we want to upload this to. Now, this is going to return dictionary, and what we're going to do here is we're going to say our public key is equal to os.environ.get, and then we're going to get the ImageKit public underscore key, if we spell this correctly. Okay, so we're going to get our ImageKit public key. Then we're going to say our client is equal to get ImageKit client. So we're going to get it from that function. We're going to say our response is equal to client dot files dot upload. So this allows you to upload images, videos, etc. The file data we're going to upload is going to be our just file data. The file name is going to be the file name. The folder is going to be the folder. And the public key is going to be the public key value that we just defined. Now, this is as easy as it is to actually upload the video or image to ImageKit. Then what we can do is we can simply say return, and we can return the file ID, which is going to be the response.file_ID. And we can return the URL. This is going to be the viewable URL to our video, which is response.url. So if we wanted to view the video after it's been uploaded, you literally just go to this URL and you will be able to view it. Now we can do a lot more than that, but that is the basics on uploading the video with ImageKit. Now let's continue here, and I want to write the function to upload the thumbnail because we're going to need that in a minute as well. So we're going to say define upload_thumbnail. For the thumbnail, we're going to take in the same parameters. So file data, which is bytes. We're going to take in the file name string. We're going to take in folder string. This time it's not going to be equal to videos. It's going to be equal to thumbnails. Now, uploading the thumbnail is going to be very similar. The only difference is that we're going to have to do a bit of decoding in case this is a base64 format, which we can get based on how we're going to upload it. So I'm going to say import base64. This is built into Python. Same thing, we're going to get the public key for ImageKit. We're then going to say if the file data dot starts with, and this is data, and then a colon, then what we're going to do is decode this as base64 data. So we're going to say base64_data equals file data dot split. We're going to split at the comma, get 1, and then 1. This is just going to give us the base64 part after the comma from the file data. Then we're going to say the image bytes is equal to base64.b64 decode base64 data. Again, the reason I'm doing this is the way that we're going to be uploading this, it can be in base64 format, so we need to decode it so that we can upload it as a normal image. Now otherwise, so if it does not start with data, then we're going to assume that it's base64 without the prefix. So we're going to say image bytes is equal to base64.b64 decode file data. Essentially, we're just taking in this base64 data, converting it into bytes so we can upload it to ImageKit. Now, same thing, we're going to say client is equal to get ImageKit client. We're going to say the response equal to client.files.upload. The file is going to be equal to the image bytes. The file name equal to the file name. The folder equal to the folder. And the public key equal to the public key. And then same thing as before, just going to copy it right here. We're going to return the URL and the file ID. So let's paste that. And now we have two functions, one for uploading the thumbnail and one for uploading the video. Now, there's a few other things, obviously, that we'll need to do here, but for now, that should be good in terms of handling the upload. Okay, so now let's go to views. Let's import what we just wrote. So we're going to say from.ImageKit client, import, and then let's look at what we have, upload video and upload thumbnail. So let's write that, upload video and upload thumbnail. So now we're going to write the views that we need for uploading the video. We're going to have one which is going to handle the post request or the actual upload, and another which is going to render the upload template for us. So one that's a get request, one that's a post request. So we're going to start by saying at login required, and then we're going to say at require post, and then we're going to say define video_upload, and we're going to take in our request. Now this is the function that's going to handle actually uploading the video. So we're going to say form is equal to our video upload form, and we're going to take the request.post data as well as the request.files. So we're going to pass all of this to the video upload form. When we pass it to the form, it's going to automatically clean the data for us and check to make sure it's valid, right? That's how the forms work in Django. So we're going to say if form .is_valid with this data, right, from our request. So here we're going to say video_file is equal to form.cleaned data, and then this is going to be video file. We're then going to say custom thumbnail is equal to request.post.get, and then this is going to be the thumbnail_data, like so, as well as an empty string. We're then going to put a try, and we're going to say result. Okay, and this is where we're going to try to upload the video, and we're going to say upload_video, the function that we brought in. We're going to say that the file data is equal to video, and this is going to be _file.read. So we're going to read that data, and let's fix this so it doesn't have the capital D there. And we're then going to say the file name is equal to the video file.name. Okay, so that's going to attempt to upload the video. We're then going to handle the thumbnail. So we're going to say thumbnail URL is equal to that, an empty string. We're going to say if we have a custom thumbnail, and the custom thumbnail dot starts with, and not HTTP, but starts with data:image, then what we're going to do is say try, and we're going to say the base name is equal to the video_file.name.rsplit, and then at period, and then 1, and then 0. What this is going to do is just give us the name without the file extension. We're then going to say the thumbnail result is equal to upload thumbnail, and we're going to say the file data is equal to the custom thumbnail, and the file name is equal to the base name plus, and then this is going to be a underscore thumb.jpg. Okay, that should be good for us for the name. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to say the thumbnail underscore URL is equal to thumb result, and then this is going to be at URL, and we're going to say exception, okay, or exception, sorry, as E, and then just pass, okay. And we'll go down here, and underneath this if statement, we now will create the video. Okay, so I know that was a lot, but essentially we uploaded the video. We then tried to upload the thumbnail. Then what we're going to do is we're going to say video is equal to video.objects.create. This is how you do it in Django. We're going to say the user who uploaded this is the request.user. So user is equal to request.user. We're then going to say the title is equal to form.cleanData at title. We're then going to say the description is the form.cleanData at description. We're going to say the file ID is equal to the result, and then this is going to be at file_ID. We then are going to have the video_URL. The video_URL is going to be the result at, and this is the URL. And then we have the thumbnail URL, and this is going to be the thumbnail URL. Then what we're going to do here is we're going to return a JSON response, and the JSON response is going to say success. Okay, so let's spell this correctly, which is equal to true. And we're going to say video ID. So video_ID is equal to video.id. And we're going to say message, and this is going to be video uploaded successfully, like so. Okay, so that's that. Then we're going to have the exceptions. We're going to say exception as E, and we're going to return a JSON response, and the JSON response is going to have same thing, success. This time is false, and for the error, it's just going to be the string of E. Okay, so whatever that error message was. Then we have to go outside of this, and we're going to say errors is equal to an empty list, and we're going to say for field, field_errors in form.errors.items, and what we're going to do is essentially give all of the errors that occurred in the response, okay? And we're going to say for error in field_errors, then we're going to say errors.append, and we're going to append an f string, and in the f string we're going to have field, and then we're going to say error like so, if field does not equal, and this is going to be all else error. Okay, lastly, we're going to go here, and we're going to say return JSON response, success false, and then the errors is going to be a semicolon dot join all of the errors that we have. Okay, now I know this last bit is a little bit confusing, but essentially what we've done is we've created this kind of custom function that can be called from essentially JavaScript, because that's how it's going to work to upload the video. Now, when this is called, we're going to look at the form. We're going to make sure the form is valid. If it is, we're going to upload the video and the thumbnail, which is what we're doing right here. We're then going to create the video object in the database to store all of this information. And what I'm handling at the bottom here is if there's any errors, we need to actually give those errors back to the front end, because in order to upload the video, we're not doing this with a full page refresh. We're doing this with some dynamic JavaScript code, which you're going to see in a second. So that's why we have these custom JSON responses that we're returning rather than rendering a template, because this particular endpoint is just used for uploading the video without having to refresh the page. I know it's a little bit confusing, but in Django, it can be a little bit annoying sometimes to have dynamic code because usually you require a page refresh in order to do something like submitting a form. In this case, I don't want to refresh the page. I just want to allow the user to upload the video, and then I can show them like a loading indicator while it's still uploading so they can make sure that they stay on this page without us refreshing it. So that's effectively what we're doing here with this function. That will allow us to, when called, upload the video. Now, what we also need to do is we need to render the video upload page. So we're going to say at login required as well. This time it's going to be super simple. We're going to say video underscore upload underscore page. And we're going to take in the request. And what we're going to do here is just return render. And we're going to render the request. And this time it's going to be videos slash video, or not video, slash upload.html. And we're going to pass a form, which is the video upload form, which is currently empty. So what we're doing is saying, okay, if you go, let's make this a little bit smaller, to this video upload page, then we're going to render this template. Then from that page, if you submit or upload the video, you'll call this function, which will handle actually uploading it, where this is just rendering the page where you can upload the video. So there's a few other things that we'll do here, but for now, this should handle the views that we need. What we need to do now is create the template as well as the URLs to link to these views. So first, let's actually go to URLs and do that because it's a little bit easier. So from this URLs file, which is a new file that we created, we're going to say from Django.urls import path. We're also going to say from dot import views. We're then going to have the URL patterns. So actually first we have the app name. So app name is equal to videos, and then URL patterns is equal to an empty list. Now inside here, we're going to set some paths. So we're going to have a path. This time it'll be the homepage path. And actually we can't put that yet because we don't have the homepage view. So let's start actually with upload. So the first one is upload, and this is going to be views.video underscore upload page. And we're going to say name is equal to upload. We're then going to have another path, and this is going to be upload slash submit slash, and this is going to be views dot, and this is going to be the video upload, and the name is going to be upload submit. So you see we have two different views, one for submitting, right? One for submitting and one for viewing the upload page. Okay, now of course there's some more things that we're going to need here, but for now this is what we'll keep our URLs as. Okay, now last thing before we can test this is we need to write the upload template. So let's go to templates. Where is templates? Right here. Let's go to videos, and we're going to make a new file, and this one is going to be called upload.html. Okay, now for this, it is a little bit complicated what we need to write, but essentially we need to have the form that allows the user to upload a video as well as to upload a thumbnail. We then need to show the preview of the video as well as the thumbnail, and when the user presses submit, we need to submit that video to the backend to actually be uploaded and show like a loading indicator on the page. So this is going to require a little bit of JavaScript. So first we'll write the HTML, then we'll write the interactive JavaScript that's going to allow us to essentially handle all of that. Bear with me, this is by far the most complicated code that we need. Okay, so we're going to start by extending our template. So we're going to say extends, okay, and then this is going to be base.html. Okay, then we're going to say %%, okay, and then load static like so. Then we're going to create our block. So we're going to say %% block title. Now inside this block, so let's go %% and block. We're going to put the title, and this can be upload video and then YouTube clone. Okay, then beneath here, we're going to have our extra CSS. So we're going to have %% block, and then this is extra underscore CSS. We can end the block, so %% end block. And inside of here, we're going to have our style sheet. So we're going to say link rel is equal to the style sheet. Then we're going to have the href, which is equal to, and this is going to be %%, and then static. And then inside of single quotes, we're going to have CSS slash video.css, and this is videos. Then we're going to have another link, and rather than videos, we're going to bring in the upload.css. Then we need to override our content block, so we're going to say block content, okay, and then %% end block, and we'll do something in there in a second. And while we're at it, we're also going to override the extra underscore. I think I called it extra JS. Let's see. Yes, it is extra JS. And then I'm going to go %% end block so we can write the code inside of here. And while we're at it, we'll just put a script tag so that we know we're writing our JavaScript in there. Okay, so let's start with our content block. So for our content block, I'm actually going to write a div that we will dynamically make not appear, but that can appear on the screen when we're loading. So right now I'm going to write like a loading indicator that will be invisible based on the JavaScript that I'll write in a second. But for now, I need to write the code so we can like toggle it visible later on. So we're going to call this div. Class is going to be upload-overlay. Okay, and the ID is going to be equal to, and this is the upload overlay as well. Okay, then we're going to put another div. Now we're going to say class is equal to, and this is going to be upload dash progress dash container. We're going to put another div, and inside this div, we're going to have the class, which is equal to, and this is going to be the upload dash spinner, and we're not going to put anything in that div. We're then going to have an h2, and this is going to say uploading video ... And we're going to put a class, which is equal to the upload status. Okay, and actually, we're not going to make this class. We're going to make it ID so we can directly access it in our code. Then we're going to have a paragraph tag, and we're going to have class is equal to upload dash warning. And we're going to say, please don't close this page. Okay, just like you have on YouTube. All right, so that's our loading block. We're then going to make an upload container. So we're going to say class is equal to upload dash container. We're going to have a card here where we say class is equal to upload dash card. And we're going to have an h1, and we're going to say upload video. Okay. So now inside of this upload card, we're going to put the form. So the form is, of course, where we're going to be uploading the video. Now in the form, we're going to say method is equal to post. And this can be in lowercase. And we're going to say enc type, okay, is equal to multi-part / form data, because we're going to have images and videos. And we're going to say class is equal to upload dash form. And ID is equal to upload form, like so. Okay, so that's going to be our form. Then, like always, we need that token. So we're going to bring in the with %% CSRF underscore token. Okay, and we're going to start writing all of the content for the form. Now, the first thing we're going to do is just render any errors that we have. So we're going to say div, and we're going to say ID is equal to error container. And we're going to say %% if form dot errors. Then what we'll do is let's just end the div, or end the diff first. End the if first of all. Okay, and inside of here, we're going to have a UL. So the UL is going to say class, and this is going to be error dash list. And we're going to have a for block. So we're going to say for field in form. Let's go %% and then end the for here as well. Now in this for, we're going to say another for. So we're going to have %%, and this is going to say for error in field dot errors. And we're going to end the for again. So %% end for. We're going to put an li element, and the li element is just going to be the error. And then outside of this, we're going to handle the non-field errors. So like we did before, we're going to say for error in form dot non-field errors. Okay, then we're going to end the for, so %% end for, like so. We are going to come here and we're going to say li. Okay, close the li. And inside the li, we're going to have the error. Okay, so I know that's a little bit annoying, but this is essentially just going to handle any of the errors that we have inside of the form. Now beneath that, we're going to put the actual form fields. So the first form field we're going to have, we're going to say class is equal to form dash group. And we're going to have a label, The label is going to say title, and where this is going to be for equal to ID underscore title. Okay, then we're going to have an input field. For the input field, we're going to have type, which is equal to text. We're going to have name equal to title. We're going to have ID equal to ID underscore title. We're going to have class equal to form dash input. And we're going to have placeholder. And the placeholder here is going to be equal to enter. And this is going to say video. Okay, video title. And the value here is going to be equal to, inside of braces, as you can hopefully see here, form dot title. Let's make sure this is spaced out. Okay, form dot title dot value pipe default colon single quotes. Okay, and then we're going to say required. Now what this is going to do is essentially just set the value equal to whatever the form title value currently is if we already have the form here, or it's just going to default it to nothing essentially, right? So there's nothing in there. And we're setting it required, setting the placeholder, all of that stuff. Now let's do the same thing. This time it's going to be for the description. So let's paste this and just change this for the description. So rather than ID title, this is ID description. Okay, let's spell description like that. Change this to description. And looks like I spelled description incorrectly, so let's spell that properly, and same thing here. Okay, now for the input type, this is actually going to be a text area. So text area like so. The name also needs to be set to description. Okay. And then because it's text area, we don't need the type, so we can remove that. The class can be form input. For the placeholder, we're going to say enter, and this is going to be video, not title, but description like so. Now, we're actually not going to have a value like this, so I'm going to copy this, and what we're going to do is we're going to put this inside of the text area tag, so text area like so, if we do this correctly. So there you go. And then this is also not going to be required, and this is going to say rows equal to 3. And then of course we need to change this from title to say description. Okay, and I just fixed the tag here, so now it is closed. Okay, so now we have that form group. Now we're going to move on to the next form group, which is going to be for uploading the video file. So we're going to say div. We're going to say class is equal to form dash group. Okay, we're going to say label, and the label this time is going to be for ID video, and this is going to be file. We're going to say video file. Under the label, we're going to have another label. This time, we're going to say class is equal to, and this is going to be the file dash input dash wrapper. Now, inside of here, we're actually going to have for is equal to ID video underscore file, so same thing. And we're going to put a span. And for the span, we're going to say the ID is equal to video dash label. And we're going to say click to select a video file. Okay, so that's going to be that label. Then we're going to put the input for the file. So we're going to go input like this. We're going to go type is equal to file. We're going to go name is equal to video underscore file. We're going to go ID is equal to ID underscore video underscore file. And we're going to say accept is equal to video slash and then asterisk. Then what we're going to do is we're going to have a span. We're going to say class is equal to help dash text. We're then going to put MP4 web m MOV or AVI max 100 megabytes so that everybody knows. Okay, so that is the form group for uploading the video. Then we need a similar thing for the thumbnail. So let's go down here and let's write that. So we're going to say div class is equal to form dash group. Then in here, we're going to have a label. This is going to be for custom thumbnail. So let's spell thumbnail correctly. Then inside of here, we are going to say thumbnail, and then this will be optional. Now underneath this, we're going to have another label. Now for this label, we're going to say class is equal to file dash input dash wrapper, and then this is the thumbnail wrapper as well. And this same thing is going to be for the custom thumbnail. Then inside the label, we're going to have an image. So we're going to say image, and this is going to be ID equal to thumb preview. Then we're going to have span, and we're going to say ID is equal to thumbnail dash label. And we're going to say click to select a thumbnail like so. Okay, and for the image, sorry, this should not be closed. You can just leave it like that. Okay, then we need our inputs. So we're going to put some input here, and we're going to say type is equal to, and this is going to be file. ID is going to be custom thumbnail. We're going to say accept is equal to image slash asterisk. We're going to say style is equal to display colon none, because we want to make this disappear the way that we're actually about to write this. I'm just going to put a semicolon there. Then we're going to have another input. Then we're going to say type of this is going to be hidden. So we're going to say name is equal to thumbnail underscore data. And we're going to say ID is equal to thumbnail data like that. And then we're going to have a span, and we're going to say leave empty to auto generate from your video, and let's add the dash here. Okay, perfect. And then lastly, what we need just at the bottom of this form is a button. Type is equal to submit. Class is equal to btn dash submit. The ID is the submit button, and here we're just going to go upload video. Okay, so right now this should render the form for us. However, we do need to write all of the JavaScript, but let's first quickly test if that's actually working before we go any further. So let's go to here. Let's refresh, and it looks like maybe our server's not running. So let's go back here. Let's check our server. It said there was an area because it says there was an issue because we misspelled text area. So let's go to our forms and let's fix this. Okay, and that's right here. So let's fix that to be text area. It says no module named ImageKit. Okay, and let's fix that error. So if we go to ImageKit, we need to change this to ImageKit IO. Okay, and then that should be good. And now the server is running. Okay, so sorry about those errors, guys. We just fixed those up quickly. Now if we go back and let's refresh. Okay, now let's try to go to /upload, and it says the name form is not defined. Okay, so let's have a look at that. It's just because we didn't put it in quotation marks. So we're going to go to views. We're going to go to wherever we had form, which I believe is right here. And we're just going to put quotes around the form so that we're able to read this. Let's go back again. Let's refresh. And we got an issue saying expected end block. Did you forget to register or load this tag? Okay, so that's because we just spelled end block incorrectly. So we can fix that one as well. Let's go to upload and let's fix end block to say end block. Okay. And same thing. Let's go back here and refresh. And there you go. We can see now we get the upload video form. And I would have to say that's looking pretty good. Now, I think we may have spelt some classes wrong because it looks like it's not fully appearing like how it should. The video file and the thumbnail look a little bit weird. So let's go back and fix that slightly. Okay, so let's have a look here. For our, first of all, we have MP $. Let's change that to MP4. And then we have a class here for our thumbnail group. Now, it looks like we spelled input wrong, where we had inputter, when it should just say file input wrapper and then thumb wrapper. And then I think that should actually be the fix that we need there to make all of that look better. And also, this, we need to have class equal to, and this is the help-text, which I forgot. Okay, so if we go back now and we have a look, let's refresh. Okay, you can see this looks a lot better now. We have the ability to choose a file as well as the thumbnail. However, I don't know why that's showing because it should just show this. So same thing, let's go back and have a look at if we missed a class or something. And yes, we did. So here we're going to go and we're going to add a required, and then we're going to say style is equal to display : none. okay, and then put a, semicolon here. So when we do that, it's no longer going to show the input, but it will still work because of the way that we did the CSS styling, where we'll be able to press into it in this form group here, but we're not showing it on screen. Okay, so now if we go back and we refresh, there we go, looks good. It's hiding that input, but we can still press on it here to trigger the input and upload the file. We also can add a title. If we press upload video, notice we need to put something in here, right? And same thing, nothing's happening now because we didn't submit the video file. Okay, perfect. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start writing the JavaScript so that this form actually works. So first things first, we want to have an indication when a user actually uploaded the video to show them, for example, like the video name. So what we're going to do is we're going to say const $ is equal to ID, which is equal to a function, which is document dot get element by ID, just to make it a little bit faster, so we don't need to keep writing this. We just have a function. We're going to say $ like this, and then we're going to say ID underscore video underscore file dot on change, and this should be one word. And we're going to say that this is equal to E, okay, which is an arrow function. Now we're going to say const file is equal to E dot target, okay, dot files 0, so just get the first file that they uploaded, and then we're going to change our video label. So we're going to say video dash label, okay, but not label, label dot text content is equal to file question mark, okay, and then we're going to say the file name. So let's go like this. All right, file dot name. This needs to be inside of backticks. Don't worry, I'm going to explain this in 1 second. Otherwise, we're going to say click to select a video. Okay, and this will be video file. So essentially what we're going to do here is say, all right, like if we pressed or if we changed anything for our ID for the video file, then let's get the file that was uploaded. If there was a file, then let's set the file name. Otherwise, let's set it to this string saying click to select a video file. All right, so let's test this part right now, where if we go back and we refresh here and we try to upload something, so let's upload a video, for example, you can see it shows the file name like that. Perfect. And then if we go here, okay, cancel, you see that it removes the file. Sweet. So let's go back now and let's start writing the other triggers that we need. So now let's do the same thing for our thumbnail. So we're going to say, okay, custom thumbnail. All right, dot on like this, dot on change. So custom dot on change is equal to E. Okay, we're going to say const file is equal to E dot target dot files at 0. I'm then going to say if not file, then simply return, because we don't need to do anything else here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to read in this image file and I'm going to display a preview of it on the screen so we can see it. So I'm going to say const reader is equal to new file reader like so. And I'm going to say reader dot on load, okay, is equal to a function. So let's go EV for event. And we're going to say $, and then this is going to be the thumb preview dot src is equal to ev dot target dot result. Then we're going to say, so let's go like this, the thumb preview, okay, thumb preview dot class list dot add. I'm going to add visible here to the class list, so now it will show it as visible instead of being disappeared. Then I'm going to say thumb dash label, okay, dot style dot display is equal to none. And then I'm going to say thumbnail data dot value is equal to ev dot target dot result. And then down here, I'm going to say reader dot read as data URL file. Okay, so I know this is a little bit weird, but essentially what I'm doing is I'm saying if we've changed the custom thumbnail, let's get the file that was uploaded, let's read the file, then let's use this file reader. So what we're going to say is, okay, when the reader has loaded, and we're going to attempt to load it or trigger the loading from down here, we're going to change the source of the thumbnail preview to be the result of my reader, so reading in the file. We're going to change the thumbnail preview class just so it's visible. And we're going to change the label to be none, right? Or just disappear, sorry. And then thumbnail data to be the data so that we can load in that data. Okay, so that's what's happening with the custom thumbnail. Now we can actually test this. So if we go back here, we refresh, and we try to upload a thumbnail. So let me just pick one here like this. We should see that we get the preview of the thumbnail popping up, which is exactly what we were looking for. Okay, perfect. So now let's go back, and now let's add the next event, which is when you press the submit button. So we're going to say $, okay, and then this is upload form dot on submit is an async function which has the event e, and we're going to say e.prevent default, so we don't submit the form and refresh the page. We're going to say if not, and then we're going to get again $, and we're going to look at the ID underscore video underscore file, and we're going to make sure that one is submitted. So we're going to say dot files dot length or not $, and this is going to be ID underscore title dot value dot trim, and this all needs to be outside of this. Let's move that there. Then we're going to return. So essentially, if we didn't upload a video or if we don't have a title, then we cannot submit, so just return. Then what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, well, if we do have those values, let's start changing some things on screen. So we're going to say upload overlay dot class list dot add active, which is now going to make that HTML that I wrote previously for the loading indicator appear on screen. I'm then going to disable the submit button. So I'm going to say submit button dot disabled, okay, dot disabled is equal to true. I then am going to do the error container, and I'm going to just clear this. So I'm going to say error container dot inner HTML is equal to an empty string, and I'm going to say window dot on before, and this is going to be unload, and I'm going to show the following, which is upload in progress. Okay, so there we go. That is going to start changing the UI, so we know that, all right, like we're currently uploading something, then we're actually going to perform the upload. So we're going to have a try. We're going to say const response is equal to await fetch, and we're going to send a request to our backend. Now the way that we do that is we're going to say %% URL, and then in single quotes, this is going to be videos : upload underscore submit, like that. So what we're going to do is now send the request, the post request, to this endpoint. Now for the fetch, we're going to say the method is of type post, and the body is going to be new form data with the e.target, which is just this current form. Okay, we're then going to say const data is equal to await res.json. So we're going to get the response from here, and we're going to say window dot, and this is on before unload, is equal to null. So we remove that function. Then we're going to say if data dot success. So if we were successful, then what we're going to do is we're going to change the UI. We're going to say upload status dot text content equals upload complete. And then we're going to say set timeout, and we're going to put a function here where we're going to say location dot href is equal to, and then this is going to be %% URL, and then videos : list, because this is the URL we're going to redirect them to, with 500 milliseconds. So essentially what we're saying is, okay, if it was successful, we're going to change the content to say the upload was complete, and we're going to redirect you to the list of videos page, which I will write later. Otherwise, we are going to throw a new error. So throw new error, data.error. Okay, and that's whatever we got from the data. Then here we need a catch. So we're going to catch the error. We're going to say window.on before unload, same thing. This is going to be equal to null. We're then going to update the UI. So to update the UI, we're going to do $, and then this is going to be upload overlay dot active, or sorry, dot class list dot remove, and we're going to remove the active class so we no longer show this on screen. We then are going to put the submit button So we're going to say submit btn.disabled is equal to true, or sorry, is equal to false, because we're going to re-enable it. And then we're going to clear the error container, or actually show, sorry, the error container with the error. So we're going to say error container dot inner HTML is equal to, and this is going to be UL, and then we're going to say class is equal to the error dash list. We'll close the UL, and then we'll put a list element, and the list element is going to simply be the error.message, or it's going to be upload failed. Okay, and actually I just remembered we got to change this to backtick so we can embed this properly. And let's fix the backtick. And for this, we're going to put a $sign and just make this one set of quotes like that, so we can directly embed this inside. And I think that should be good. Okay, so let's actually remove this extra backtick too, because that was causing error. All right, so now we are good to go with that, and that's actually everything that we need for the JavaScript in this file. And that should work now when we upload the form. So let's go and try to upload this. So let's refresh. And we got an issue here, something with this location. Let me have a look and see what's wrong. Okay, so essentially it's saying the list route is not found yet. So we're not able to put that there. So let's just quickly change this to be something else at the moment. So let's go where we have list. Where is that? Okay, videos list. Let's just change this to upload. And after we can set that back to be, change to list. Okay, so let's try now where we refresh. Okay, and let's try to upload something. So let's go like hello world. Let's go for a video file. Let me just pick a small one that I have on my computer. So let me scroll down here and try to find one. Okay, 36 megabytes. I have no idea what this is, but let's just try to upload it. And let's go upload video. And it gave us an issue saying unexpected token. Let's see what that problem is. Okay, so it looks like I spelled something wrong where it says content to type instead of content type. So let's fix that, which I believe is inside of my views, should be over here somewhere. Let's just search content. Okay, so it looks like it's inside of my forms, and I just had content to type. It should be content type. So let's fix that. And let's go back here now and refresh again and try once more. So let's go to the video. Okay, let's pick one here. That's 89 megs. Let's go hello world. Let's upload. And it says the private key client option must be set either by passing private key to the client or by setting the ImageKit private key environment variable. Okay, so it looks like for some reason it's not loading that environment variable file for us. Let me have a quick look and I'll be right back. Okay, so I see the problem here. The issue is that we weren't effectively loading this environment variable, which we need to do when we initialize the project. So what we're going to do is just close all of these for right now. We're going to go to YouTube. So this inner YouTube folder. We're going to go to settings. We're going to go to the top. And what we're going to do is import something. We're going to say from.env import load.env. And we're just going to write load.env like this. Now, when we do that, that's going to look for the presence of our environment variable file, and load all of the environment variables that are there. So now if we save this and refresh the project, it should hopefully load that for us. So let's go back here and let's try this again. Let's go hello world. Let's upload a short file. Okay. And let's go upload. And it said we got an unexpected keyword argument file data. Did you mean file name? Probably. Let's have a look and fix this error. Okay, so it looks like in our ImageKit client file, we named something file data when it should just say file. So let's fix that right here, which was already being highlighted by PyCharm for us. So this is inside the upload video function, we had file data when it should just say file. So now if we go back, we can again refresh and try this. So let's go hello world. Let's go to the video file. Okay, let's select one. And let's go upload, and notice now it says uploading video, and don't close the page. For some reason the spinner is not showing, so I probably just spelt a class name wrong, but let's wait for this to be finished and see if we can find the video on ImageKit after and actually test if this worked. Okay, and we attempted that and we did get an error here, which I believe has to do with the database and the fact that we have not actually done the migrations to create the video table. So I believe the video was actually successfully uploaded in ImageKit, which we'll go and check in 1 second. The problem, however, is that we didn't set up our database correctly, so let's fix that problem. So if we go back to our app here, what I'm going to do is just shut down the server, and I'm going to type uv run, and this is manage.py, and then make migrations. Now, when I do that, you can see it's created a migration for adding this video to our schema, essentially, or to our database. And then we're going to type uv run, and this is going to be manage.py, and then migrate. Okay, and it's made the migrations okay. And then we can rerun, so uv run, and then this is manage.py run server. And now we're good to go, and the migrations have been made. So now what I'm going to do is attempt the upload again, and then we're going to check ImageKit, see if this was uploaded, and if it was, we're on to the next step, which is displaying the videos. Okay, so I just filled in the form again. Let's go upload video, and let's wait for this for a second and see if this is able to upload it to ImageKit. Again, I believe the error we had before was with our database, not directly with ImageKit. So this will take a second, and then we'll be able to go to the ImageKit dashboard, and we should be able to view all of the videos that have been uploaded here, and we can start checking them, go through a few settings for kind of the web optimization, which I'll talk about, and then when we start displaying the videos, you'll see what I mean. Okay, so it looks like that worked properly. I didn't see anything change, but we didn't get any error messages. So if we go back to ImageKit, so if you go to your dashboard, you should be brought to a page that looks like this, and you go to your media library. You can see I have a bunch of files because I've already been working with this account previously, but we should have a videos folder now. And if you go in the videos folder, you should be able to see all of the stuff that's been uploaded. And I believe this content right here, yes, this is the time I'm filming this video, is now added. Okay, so at this exact time, December 28th, this video was uploaded, 85 megabytes. You can see all the information about it, etc., etc. See all of the custom metadata, and it's here uploaded in ImageKit. And then if we wanted to view it, again, we can click into it, we can view the video, you know, leave comments on it. There's all kinds of stuff we can do. We can download it, we can share it, we can edit the name, right? Change the link, all of that kind of stuff. And we also could connect this to an external storage at this point if we wanted to, where we could store this in S3 bucket, right? Or we could load in other images or videos that we have. Now, I'm not going to do that, but you could do that if you want to connect to external storage. So the media library, again, this is where you can view kind of what's already been uploaded and created. And now, because we have a video, what I want to quickly show you is some of the options related to the videos. So if we go to configuration and we go to settings here in ImageKit, you'll see that we have images, videos, transforms, media library, all of this kind of stuff. What I want to do is go to video optimization, and I want to just make sure that I enable these two settings here where I use the best format for video delivery. So just make sure we turn that on, and then make this, the first option that we have here. And then I also want to optimize the video quality before delivery to 50. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to reduce the quality of the video without making any visual artifacts or any differences, so that we can load the video a lot faster without needing the full file, essentially. So you can change the quality that you want. Usually, even if you go from 100 to 50, it really looks very similar. But if you wanted to maintain most of the quality, for example, go maybe 75, for example. Or if you want it to load like super fast, go to like 10% of the original quality. But ImageKit shows actually directly in their documentation here that by just compressing the video even down to 50%, there's really hardly any noticeable difference in the video quality visually, right? So it explains in the documentation kind of how it does this in terms of reducing the quality to make sure that it doesn't look any different, but that it's a smaller video size. I'll let you guys read through this if you want, but it gives you an example, right, of a video quality of 20 versus a video quality of 90 in terms of kind of the difference here. Like you can still read everything. It hardly looks kind of any different, even though one is 5 megabytes and one is 76 megabytes. And then same thing with the format conversion. So if someone uploads a video that's hard to display, you can convert it into like H.264, VP9, AV1, etc., etc. And there's a lot of other stuff that you can do here, which I'll show you when we actually start loading the videos. Okay, so at this point, the upload of the video is complete. That worked. What we need to move on to next is actually displaying the videos. So like I was saying, we now need to display the videos. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to work on kind of like the home screen or like the feed where you can see all of the videos, and then we'll work on the video player. So let's close all of this. Let's go to our videos app and let's go to views. Now let's make a new view. And this view is going to be super simple. What we're going to write is we're going to say define video underscore list. And this is going to take in a request. And what it's going to do is say videos is equal to video dot objects, spell objects correctly, dot all. Then we're going to say return render request. This is going to be videos slash video, or actually let's go slash list.html. And then we're going to pass in the variable, which is videos. Okay, so that's it for the video list. Now let's go to URLs and let's connect this to a URL. So what we'll do is we'll make a path. This will just be an empty path, so it's the home page. We're going to say this is views.video list. And then we're going to say the name is equal to list, like that. Then before we forget, let's go back to our templates. So where are we here? Let's go to upload, and where we had list, we put a comment here. Yep. So videos upload. Let's change this to be videos list. Okay, cool. So we've now connected that. And then what we need to do is we need to write the template. So let's go here. Let's go new file. Let's call this list.html. And we are now going to write the template for listing the videos. Okay, so to list the videos, we're going to go %% extends, and then same thing, base.html. Then we are going to load static. So we're going to go load and just load the static files like that. We're going to override the block. So we're going to say block title, and then %% and block. For this title, we're going to go with videos. And then this will be YouTube clone. Okay, then continue. We're going to have a block. This is going to be extra underscore CSS. Then we're going to go %% and block. And in the CSS, we're going to load our video CSS. So we're going to say link rel is equal to style sheet. And we're going to say href is equal to %% static, and then single quotes CSS slash videos dot CSS. Okay, so we make sure that we load that style sheet. Then we're going to go %% block content, and then %% and block. And we're going to write inside of here the videos. So first things first, we're going to say %% if videos, and then we can go %% and if. Because if there's no videos, well, we don't need to do anything here. So we're going to say if videos, then we're going to have a div. This div is going to have a class, which is the video grid. Then inside of here, we're going to have a for loop where we render all of our videos. So we're going to say %% for video in videos. And let's just go ahead and end the for loop so we don't forget. We're going to say end for. Then we're going to put an a tag, and we're going to say href is equal to, and then this is going to be %% URL, and then videos :detail, and then video.id, because we're going to have, and let's fix the quotation marks here, a page for loading individual videos based on their ID. And then we're going to have class is equal to video-card, or :card. Yeah, sorry, dash. Yes, dash is correct. Okay. Now inside of the a tag, we're going to have a div. We're going to have class is equal to video-thumbnail. Then inside the div, we're going to put in image. And for the image, we're going to say src is equal to, and we're going to put a variable. This variable is going to be video.display underscore thumbnail underscore URL, which we're going to write in just 1 minute to get the URL, or get the thumbnail, sorry. We're then going to say alt is equal to, and this is going to be video.title, and we're going to say loading is equal to, and we're going to say lazy, so we only load this if we actually need it. Okay, and then we're going to say span, and we're going to say class is equal to play dash icon, and I'm just going to paste in a little play emoji here so that we show that. So there you go, that is going to be the video thumbnail. Then beneath that, we're going to have a div, and this should be outside of the A or inside the A. This is going to be inside the A tag, so let's go here. And this div is going to have a class. This class is going to say video-info, where we're going to show like the title and the description of the video, or not the description, but we'll show the title. So we're going to say h3. We're going to say class is equal to video-title. And then we're going to say video.title like so. Then we're going to put a paragraph tag. We're going to say class is equal to video-meta. And then here, this is going to be the video.user.username. Okay, and then we're going to have a pipe, and we're going to say video.views, and then beside this, views. Okay, and that is going to make up this entire page. So that's going to load all of our videos. Now, this is going to give us an issue right now because of the detail view, essentially. So let's quickly write the detail view, or at least part of it, so that this doesn't give us an issue when we render this page. And then we can test it and see if this is going to work. So let's go to views, and let's write a view for loading an individual video. So we're going to go and make a new function. And we're going to call this define video underscore detail. And we're going to take in a request and a video underscore ID. Okay. Then we're going to say video is equal to get object or 404. And then video dot objects dot select underscore related. Okay. And then user. And then we're going to say ID is equal to video ID. Then what we're going to do is we're going to return a render. We are going to render the detail page with this particular video, like so. Now, there's some more stuff that we'll need to do here when we actually render the video, but for now, this is fine, just as kind of like a placeholder until we fill in the rest of the details. Then let's go to our URLs. Let's create a new path. And this path is simply going to be the video detail path. So for that, we're going to take in a path parameter. So we're going to say int : video underscore ID like that. And this is going to be views dot video detail. And then the name is simply going to be detail. Okay, so that should be good to go. Now what we can do is we can test and see if the list is working. So let's go back here. Let's refresh. Okay, and let's go to the home page, and we got an issue here saying video has no attribute objects. Okay, so let me go and have a look at this. Okay, so that would mean that we just need to spell objects correctly because it looks like we didn't add the C. So let's go back and refresh this, and you can see now it's showing us the video. Now there's no thumbnail because we haven't generated the thumbnail yet, but you can see the username, the views, and that says hello world video. And if I press this, I actually get an error saying that selected related is wrong. So this needs to say select related. So let's fix that and just quickly refresh. And there we go. It just says now, video doesn't exist at 1 because we haven't actually written the template yet. No worries, we'll fix that. Essentially, point is, this is all working. Only thing I need to change is say select related, not selected related. And then we are good to go. And in fact, I don't actually even think we need this. I think we can just say video objects, and then we can just put the video ID, and I think this will work the same way. So now that we have that, what we do want to do is we want to start rendering the individual video. So in order to do that, we have to write this detail template. So let's go now to our templates, and let's go videos. Let's make a new template, and let's write this. It's going to be a new file, and we're going to call this detail.html. And we're going to start writing this in 1 second. However, what I need to do here is I need to start writing some of the code that's going to allow me to actually get the optimized URLs for rendering my videos or loading them on screen, as well as for loading the thumbnails or generating the thumbnails if they don't exist. So before we go into that, we're going to go into our ImageKit client. And we're going to start writing a few other functions here that we're going to use to essentially get the correct URLs for loading our videos. So we're going to go to the top of this file, and I'm going to say define get underscore optimized underscore video underscore URL. And then I'm going to take in a base URL, which is a string, and I'm going to return a string. Now I'm going to say if question mark in my base underscore URL, then I'm going to return, and let's put a colon here, and F, and I'm going to put base underscore URL, and, so let's go and like this, tr equals q colon 50, and then f dash auto. I'm going to explain what this means in 1 second, and then I'm going to say return f here, and I'm going to say base underscore URL, Gonna say question mark, and this is gonna be tr equals, and then same thing like that. Okay. So what am I doing right here? Well, I'm going to go to the ImageKit documentation to explain this, but effectively I am adding a kind of optimization parameter or transformation to the end of my video URL so that I can load the video in a more optimized fashion. So I'm going to go here to video optimization and kind of explain how this works inside of ImageKit. So when you're loading videos, you have the ability just to load them as they are. Now, when you do that, it's going to download the entire video at whatever that file size is and then play it. Now that can take a long time because the file size could be gigabytes, for example, right? It could be hundreds of megabytes, and you could have slow internet. Now, in order to make that a little bit faster, you can compress the video, right? Which is exactly what we do when we add this parameter that I just showed you to the end of the string. So there's this quality parameter, Q, right? And if you try to load an ImageKit URL, which is a video, and you pass Q dash and then some number between 0 to 100, that will specify the quality at which you want to load the video at. So what I'm saying is that I want to load it in quality 50, so 50% of the original quality, and this TR stands for transformation, and there's all kinds of other transformations that you can apply here in ImageKit to any ImageKit URL. Now, this makes it extremely easy to work with this media because depending on where you're going to be showing it, you can just pass a different query parameter on the base of the ImageKit video URL, and it will automatically give you back this transformed data. So in this case, we did quality 50, and then F auto means format auto, where it just gives us the best, most optimized format. So that's what I'm doing here when I'm writing get optimized video URL. And you can see an example, right? It shows you how the transformations work. Like for example, it's setting the height 300, width 300, and then quality 90. So there's all kinds of other transformations you can make here. It doesn't just have to be, the quality. So you can see, for example, format, we just use that, right? So we're doing auto, and you can disable automatic video conversion format if you want. Audio codec, you can specify that as well. Video codec, there's a bunch of stuff, and it explains exactly how to do that for the best optimized videos. And the same thing applies for images. You can load them at different quality, right? You can see the difference right here. And it goes through and explains all of the different parameters, which I will leave a link to in the description. Okay, so that's how we can load a video effectively with an optimized URL. However, I want to go a little bit further, and I actually want to be able to load the video in a streamable format. So rather than trying to download the entire video at once, and I need to go back to the documentation here, we can use something called adaptive bitrate streaming. Now this adaptive bitrate streaming, or ABS, enables the optimum streaming video viewing experience for different types of devices over a broad set of connection speeds. This results in very little buffering, a fast start time, and good experience for both high-end and low-end connections. Now, effectively, what this means is that the client, so in our case, the front end, right, is going to load, as it explains, a manifest file and then choose an appropriate segment or quality, right, based on the speed that it's able to load the video at. So if the network is really strong, it will go up to the highest bitrate or the highest quality setting. If it's not so strong, it will load it at a lower quality. And you've probably seen this before with like Netflix, for example, where it's going to load, 240p first and then go up slowly as your internet connection is tested to be working well. So we can do this directly inside of ImageKit by essentially just changing the URL in which we access the video through. So you can see that if I want to get a streamable URL for my ImageKit video, what I can do is simply append this ikmaster.m3u8 plus all of the different essentially qualities that I want to load here. And when I do that, now I'll be able to use this kind of adaptive bitrate streaming directly inside of my code or inside of my project. Now, in order to support the, kind of adaptive bitrate streaming, we need to write a little bit of code for our video player. But what I'm about to do here, and I'm just prefacing it with this by explaining the documentation, is write another URL which gives me the streamable version of the video so that I can load this a lot faster and stream the content rather than having to download the entire video first. So again, another advantage of using a platform like this that just handles all of this out of the box for you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and I'm going to write another function, and this is going to be get underscore streaming underscore URL. Okay, and same thing, we're going to take in the base URL, which is a string, and return a string. Now inside of here, we're going to return the f string of the base URL, so base underscore URL, and then this is going to be /ik-master.m3u8, okay? question mark tr is equal to sr, and then this is going to be dash 720 underscore 1080. So I'm going to load these two formats, right? 720 and 1080. If I wanted to load more, I could just include those like 480, 240, etc., right? And I can load all these different formats. Okay, so you get the idea. We can load it like that. If I wanted to load, 360 as well, let's do that. 360, we can just add that in. Okay, cool. So that's now how we get the streaming URL. However, I also want to be able to generate a thumbnail URL for my videos where I didn't upload a custom thumbnail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say define, and I'm going to say get underscore thumbnail underscore URL, and I'm going to take in a base URL, which is a string. I'm going to take in a width, which is an int, which is by default equal to 480, and a height, which is an int, which is default equal to 270. Okay, then this is going to return a string. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to return f, and then I'm going to say my base URL, okay, /ik dash thumbnail like so, .jpg, and later I'm going to add a transformation which will change the width and height of this thumbnail. Now, what I'm doing when I write this is I'm essentially, I gotta go .jpg, is I'm telling ImageKit to generate a thumbnail for me based on the first frame of this video. So this is another capability that ImageKit has. Again, we can have a look at this here where we essentially create videos for thumbnails, or create video thumbnails, sorry, where if we just take our original video URL and we append this /ik-thumbnail to it, it will just automatically take the first frame of that and give us the thumbnail. Now, if we wanted this at a specific point, like 5 seconds into the video, whatever, we can add a transformation and specify when we want to get the thumbnail. So you can see they're showing you one right here. However, that's all I kind of need to do for right now. Okay. That was a bunch of other transformations, as you can see on the images, but for now, we're just going to do that because it loads a thumbnail image for us. And now we're going to go to our models.py, and we're going to write a few properties on our video, which is going to allow us to actually use these different values and to kind of load the video, show the video URL, all of that kind of stuff. So we're going to go to the top of this here. I'm going to remove this comment. I'm going to say from.ImageKit client import, and I'm going to import the following, which is get the optimized video URL, get the streaming URL, and get the thumbnail URL. Okay, so I think that's all good. And then I'm going to add some properties down here. So I'm going to say at property. And for the first property, this is going to be the display. So define display underscore thumbnail underscore URL. And then we're going to take in self. And what we're going to say is if self dot thumbnail URL and slash thumbnails slash in self dot thumbnail URL, then we are going to return the self dot thumbnail URL. Otherwise, we're going to return self dot generated underscore thumbnail URL, which is going to be another property which we're going to write in 1 second. So now we're going to say at property. This is going to be define generated thumbnail URL. And then what we're going to do is say if not self.video URL, return an empty string, because we need a video URL in order to generate the thumbnail URL. Otherwise, we're going to say return get. This is going to be the underscore thumbnail underscore URL, which should be a function that we imported here. This is get thumbnail URL. So change that there. And then get thumbnail URL. And we're going to pass the self.video underscore URL like that. Okay, and this should be good. Expected type string got URL field instead. Okay, I think this is still okay, and that it won't cause us any problems. All right, so that's now how we get the thumbnail. Now after that, we're also going to add some properties for getting the streaming URL and the optimized video URL. So we're going to say define streaming URL. Okay, we're going to say self. We're going to say if not self.video URL, then just return an empty string. Otherwise, we are going to return get the streaming URL, and that's going to be of self.video URL. Okay, and then copy this and say at property. This is going to be define optimized URL, and then this is going to be same thing. So we'll just copy this and we're going to return the get optimized video URL like so. Okay, so that should be all good for now, where we get the optimized URL, streaming URL, generated thumbnail. Okay, all good in our models. Now what we're going to do is go, like I said, and we're going to write that detail template. So rather than list, we're going to go into detail, and let's start coding this out. So actually, we're going to start from list. I'm just going to copy everything here, and I'm going to paste into here so we get all of our blocks, and then we can start kind of overriding some of the blocks here. So let's remove this if videos like that. Okay, and let's start coding out the detail view. Okay, so for this now, let's change the title to actually include the video title. So it's going to be video.title like so, and then we can say YouTube clone. Then for our styles, we're just going to add one more. So rather than just videos, this is going to be the video player.css. Okay, then we're going to start overriding our content. So we're going to have a div. We're going to have the class is equal to the video-player-container. Now inside of the div, we're going to have the video player, and then we're going to have the video content, or like the metadata below that. So we're going to say class is equal to video-player. Then we're going to have the video player. So we're going to say video, and we're going to say ID is equal to video-player. We're going to say controls, which means we're enabling the controls. And we're going to say preload is equal to none, so we don't try to load anything right away. And then we're going to say the poster is equal to, and this is going to be the video.display_thumbnail. Okay, so that should be the video player. Then beneath that, we're going to have a div. So we're going to say div, and we're going to say ID is equal to video-error, like so, in case there's any error. We're going to say class is equal to video error, and then we're going to say style is equal to display:_none. So we're only going to show this div if there is an actual error. Now, if there is an error, we're going to say span, and we're going to say class is equal to error-icon, and I'm just going to put in a little warning icon here. You can just copy these from Google. That's how I'm getting them. Then I'm going to say p video unavailable, and I'm going to put in small. I'm going to say the video file could not be loaded. Okay, perfect, like that. All right, so that's going to be the video player. Then we're going to have the video details below that. So we're going to say div class is equal to video-details. Then we're going to put an h1 tag, and we're going to display the video.title. So that's the first thing. Then we're going to put some video stats. So we're going to put a div. We're going to say class is equal to video-stats. And we're going to start showing things like the views, the likes, etc. So we're going to have a span tag. Inside the span, we're going to have class is equal to video stats left. And we're going to show the views. So we're going to say video.views. And then this is going to be views. Then we're going to have a pipe. And we're going to put the created at date. So we're going to say video.created at. We're going to put a pipe. We're going to put date, colon, and then we can put inside of here actually the format that we want. So I'm going to say month, day, year. This is actually built into the Jenga templating engine, and it allows us to automatically format a date object, which is what we're doing here, which is pretty cool. Then beneath that, we're going to put the video actions. So class is equal to video actions. We're going to have some buttons to like or dislike. So for now, we're going to keep these kind of basic, but we'll write them later. So we're going to say button class is equal to vote BTN. Now, we're going to check here if the user has voted on this, but we're not able to do that at the moment because we haven't handled voting. That'll be kind of later in the video that we'll work on that. Then we're going to say data-vote is equal to like, and we're going to say on click is equal to, and we're going to call a function. So we're going to call vote, and we're going to pass the video.id as a value here to this function. And we're also going to pass like as a second parameter. Then I'm just going to copy in the next part that we're going to put inside the button, which is going to be a thumbs up emoji. And then we're going to say span ID equals like count, and then we're going to show the video likes. Now we're going to copy this exact same thing. We're going to paste it but we're going to change this to be a thumbs down icon, and we're going to change some of the IDs and values here. So let's change this, okay? And rather than the like count, this is going to be the dislike count. And we're going to say video.dislikes, and then same thing here, rather than like, we're going to put dislike as the value that we pass, so dislike. Okay, so that should now show the video actions. Then we're going to show the channel, the description, and then if this video was posted by this user, we're going to give them the ability to delete it. So we're going to go here, so out of the video stats, we're going to have a div. This is going to be class equal to video-channel. Then we're going to have a div. We're going to say class like this is equal to the channel-avatar. And we're going to put here video.user.username pipe slice, and then colon, and then inside of quotes, we're going to put :1. Then below here, we're going to put a, and this is going to be href equal to, and we're going to put a URL. So we're going to say URL, and this is going to be videos:channel, because we're going to have a path to go to a user's channel. And we're going to say video.user.username like that. Okay. Then we're going to say, we're going to close this essentially. So let's close the A tag. Okay. We have a class which is equal to channel-name. And then we're going to put the name of the user. So we're going to say video.user.username like that. Okay. So that's going to be our A tag, and that's going to be it for the video channel. Then we're going to check if the video has a description. So we're going to say if video.description. So if there is a description, and we're going to go %, and if, then we will show it. So to show it, we're going to put a p tag. We're going to say class is equal to video description. And then we're going to say video.description. Then lastly, we're going to check if we are the publisher of this video. So we're going to say here %, if request.user equals video.user. So if the current user signed in is using this, and we're going to say %, and if, then what we're going to do is have a small div. Okay, for this div, we're going to say class is equal to video owner actions, and we're just going to have a button that lets us delete. So we're going to say button class is equal to delete btn, type is equal to button. We're going to have an on click, which we will fill in a moment. For now, let's just make it an arrow function. And we are going to say delete like that. Okay, so that should be it for the UI. Now, however, we need some JavaScript to actually load the video in the video player, because you notice we didn't actually load the video URL, and that's because we need to use the streaming URL, which requires a little bit of some JavaScript. So let's write a block here. Let's go %, and let's go block extra.js, and let's end this block. So end block like so. And I'm going to bring in a script here from a CDN, which allows us to use HLS, which is a way of doing the video streaming. So I'm going to paste this inside of the block. You can see this is the script right here. So cdn.jsdeliver.net/npm/als.js at latest. Okay, so we need that script. We're then going to have our own custom script tag. And inside of here, we're going to start getting some variables related to the video player. So we're going to say const video player is equal to document.getElement by ID. And we're going to get the video dash player. And let's spell document correctly. And then let's get the video error. So let's just copy this, paste this, and call this video error. And then make this video error. Then we're going to say const streaming URL is equal to, and inside of quotes, we're going to do the variable, and we're going to get the video.streaming_URL. And then we're going to have a fallback URL in case the streaming doesn't work. And this is going to be the optimized URL. So video.optimized_URL. Okay. So now we're going to check if HLS is supported for our current browser. So we're going to say if HLS.is supported like that. Okay, so if it is supported, we're going to create a new variable, which is going to be an HLS stream. So we're going to say HLS is equal to new HLS like so. Inside of here, we're going to say start level is -1, which means it's going to automatically select quality based on the bandwidth, but you could also manually change this if you wanted to. And we're going to say cap level to player size, and this is going to be equal to true. What this is going to do is it's only going to load a resolution that's at least as great as the size of the player. So if the player is at like 720 pixels or something, it's not going to load a resolution significantly higher because it won't even be able to display that within the window. So that's what that means. Then we're going to say HLS.load source, and we're going to load the streaming URL. And we're going to say HLS.attach media, and we're going to attach this to our video player. So this is how we're essentially getting the stream. We're then going to say HLS.on. It's going to be HLS.events.error. And we're going to take in our event and our data. And we're essentially saying, okay, if there's an error that occurs here, we want to pick this up and we want to handle it, which is what we're doing. So if there's an error, we're going to say if data.fatal. So if this is a fatal error, we're going to say videoplayer.src is equal to the fallback URL so that we're still able to load it. Let's make sure this is a period. And then that should be good. Okay, so that's going to load the stream for us. Now we're going to say else if the video player.canPlay type, and this is going to be application/vnd.apple.mpegurl. Now what I'm checking here is essentially if we're using Safari, because if we're using Safari, it can natively just play, the HLS for us. We don't need to automatically add it like we did here. So we're going to say videoplayer.src is equal to the streaming URL. Otherwise, we're going to say videoplayer.src is equal to the fallback URL. So essentially what I'm checking is, okay, is this streaming option supported? If it is supported, then use it, right? Now, if it's not supported, but we're using Safari, then we can just directly use the streaming URL and it will automatically load it for us. And if none of that is the case, then just fall back to the fallback URL where we just download the video and we play it. Now, that'll take longer, but that's okay. Then we're going to say videoplayer.add event listener, and this is going to be error. And we're going to do a function where we say videoplayer.style.display is equal to none, and we're going to say video error.style.display is equal to flex. So essentially, if there's an error, hide the video player, but show the video error on screen. Okay, so that should be it for actually loading the video. We're going to have to test to make sure this works, and then there's some more code we're going to have to bring in here, like being able to delete the video, for example, voting, handling all of that, but we're going to do that a little bit later. Okay, so let's go back here. Let's go to this, and let's go to refresh, and it says reverse for channel not found. So let's again quickly write the URL for the channel to make sure that we don't get that error. So let's go to views.py. Let's write a quick function, and this function is going to be for handling the channel. Now for handling the channel, we're going to say define channel videos, and we're going to say request, and then the channel's username. And what we're going to do is say videos are equal to video.objects.filter, and we're going to filter by the user. Okay, user underscore username is equal to the username. Okay, then what we can do is we can say return render request videos / channel.html, which will be our template, and we're going to pass the two variables. So we're going to say videos, and then this is going to be videos, and we're going to say the channel name, channel underscore name, is the username. Okay, perfect. So that should give us the channel videos. Then we can go to URLs and we can write the path. So we're going to say path, and then this is going to be channel / and then dynamically string, and then this is going to be username and then /, and this is going to be views.channel videos, and then the name is going to be equal to channel. Okay, so now hopefully that shouldn't give us the error. So let's refresh, and it just says base URL is not defined. Okay, so let's check that here. That's going to be inside of our models, I believe. Inside of our models, when we try to get the streaming URL, so streaming URL is from here. It says base URL is not defined. That's because we spelled base incorrectly. So let's just fix our typing there. and go back and refresh, and it looks like it is loading the video for us. Now, when I press play, I don't see anything happening right now, so there might be some issue getting the video up and running. However, it does look like we have Hello World video showing up. We have the channel. We have 0 views. Let's go back, okay? And let's press into this, and it might just be, oh, there we go. And there we go. Actually, just took a second, and the video is loaded. So I know the first time you load the video, sometimes it takes a second because it needs to be processed by ImageKit, but now it is loaded, and you can see that when we go back to it, it's extremely fast, and it's streaming this in the highest quality. And then if we go up to full screen mode, you can see that, it goes full screen mode, and we're streaming it, right? Okay, cool. Now, the only thing is the URL. I was going to say the thumbnail's not working, but it was just generated now. Again, sometimes when you do these transformations, it takes a second to load the first time, but then this is cached and stored, and it loads very quickly afterwards. So now we have the thumbnail. We can see the thumbnail showing up. I can press play, and we start streaming the video right away. Awesome. Okay, cool. So that's all working. We have the video player functioning. We have the video list functioning. And now what we want to do is start handling some of the tasks like being able to delete, for example, as well as liking and disliking the video. Okay, so now that we've finished this, like I said, there's a few other things we need to do. For example, we need to delete a video. We need to handle the voting on the video, and we also need to write the channel page so we can view all of the videos on a user's channel. Now, the channel is the easiest, so let's tackle that first by making a new template inside of our video templates called channel.html. Now, let's make this easy by just copying from our list. So let's copy the list template and put this for channel, and let's just delete everything inside of this block, like so. Okay, and then let's just change the title, and I suppose the title can be the name of the channel, so let's go like this, and let's go channel_name, like that, and then YouTube clone. Okay, we'll keep loading videos.css, that's fine, and then let's write the content. So for the content, we want to start with the channel's name, so we're going to have div class is equal to the channel-header. For the header, we'll have another div. Now this div is going to be class equal to channel-header-avatar. And we're going to say that this is the channel_name, pipe, slice, colon, and then 1 like that, and another colon. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to have an h1, and this is going to be just the channel name, like so. Okay, so that's going to be our header. Then below, we're going to say in a variable, if there's videos, and then we'll have %%, and we're going to have an end if, and we're also going to have an else, so %% else here. Okay, so if there are videos, we're going to have a div, class is going to be video-grid, and then what we're going to do is render the videos that they have. So we're going to have a for loop here, %% for video in videos. Let's end the for, so %% end for. Okay, now inside of here, we're going to have an a tag. For the a tag, we're going to have href equal to, and this is going to link to the video detail page. So we're going to have %% URL, and then this is going to be videos:\detail. Okay, and we're going to put the video.id, and we're going to say the class is equal to the video-card. Now inside of this a tag here, we're going to have a div to show the video thumbnail. So we're going to say class is equal to video thumbnail, like so. And then same thing as before, we're going to show the image. So we're going to say image, and this is going to be src is equal to, and this is going to be video.display_thumbnail_URL. And we're going to say alt is equal to, and then this is going to be the video.title. And we're going to say loading is equal to, and this is going to be lazy. Okay, so that's going to be our image. Then we're going to have a span. We're going to have class is equal to the play-icon. And same thing, we're going to show this little play icon here. This is the exact same code we had in one of the other components, by the way. I'm just writing it again. Then we're going to have div class is equal to video-info. And inside of here, we're going to have an h3. So h3, let's write the h3 correctly. The h3 is going to be the title of the video. So we're going to have class is equal to video-title. And this is going to be the video.title. Then we're going to have a paragraph tag. Class is equal to video-meta. And we're going to have video.views. Okay, and then after this, we're just going to put views. So that's going to display the information about the videos. Then we're going to go into the else statement, and we're just going to put something that essentially says they have no videos if there's no videos. So we're going to say class is empty-state. Then inside the div, we're going to have a span. We're going to say class is equal to empty-icon. And then what I'm going to do is just copy in a little film kind of emoji thing here like that. And I'm going to say h2 no videos yet. Okay, no videos yet. And we're going to say paragraph tag. This channel hasn't uploaded any videos yet. Okay, cool. So that's going to be it for the channel page. So now that we have that, we can actually just test this by clicking on one of the channels. And you can see this is what the channel page looks like. It shows the videos, same thing, right? And if we go back and we press on their name, brings us to the channel page. Like so. Okay, cool. So the channel pages are working. Now that we've got that, let's handle deleting the video. So let's close everything that we have for right now. So to delete the video, first things first, we need the ability to delete this from ImageKit because recall, if we go to our ImageKit dashboard here, let's have a look. You will see if we go to the media library, right, that we're storing the videos and the thumbnails. And you can see this is a video and then go back. Thumbnails, these are examples of thumbnails that have been uploaded. This was for the previous kind of example that we were looking at. So the point is we want to delete them from ImageKit as well as deleting them from our database. So first things first, we're going to go to the ImageKit client and we're just going to write a function that will let us delete a video. So we're going to say define like this, and let's go delete _video. Okay, then we're going to take in the file ID, which is a string, and we're just going to return a Boolean. And what we're going to do is say client is equal to get ImageKit client. We're then going to say client.files.delete. Let's make this a bit larger. And we're going to say the file ID is equal to the file ID. And then just return true. And that's literally it. That's all you need to do to delete a video from ImageKit directly using the SDK. So now that we have that ability, we're going to go to views and we're going to write the view for deleting a video. Now, first, let's bring in this function that we need. So we're going to say delete video from ImageKit client. Let's go to the bottom of our screen here. Okay, and we're going to write an @login required as well as an @require post. And we're going to call this delete video. Now, to delete the video, we're going to take in request and a video ID. And we're going to say video is equal to get object or 404. And then we're going to say video, and that's not how we do it. We're going to say ID. ID is equal to the video ID. And the user is equal to the request.user. We're going to say try. And then we're going to say delete video. And we're going to try to delete the video.file ID. We're going to accept exception as E, and we'll just print E and pass. And then we're going to say video.delete like that, and then return a JSON response, success true, and we're going to say message video deleted. Okay, so that's actually all we need for deleting the video. This is the endpoint. And again, we're going to call this from some JavaScript code, hence why we have this kind of post method that we're checking. Now what we're going to do is set up the URL for this. So the URL is going to be path, and then this is going to be, I believe, int:\video_ID/delete/, and then this is going to be views.deleteVideo, and the name is going to be equal to delete. Okay, so now we have the URL, and now all we need to do is write the code to delete it, which is going to be from our detail view. So we're going to go templates, detail, and then we're going to write some code in this script here to handle the delete. So for the delete, we're going to say function delete video. We're going to take in a video ID. Now we're going to say if not, confirm, and we're going to say, are you sure you want to delete this? ? Okay, If they're not sure, then we're going to return. So this is going to ask them, are you sure you want to delete it? If they type yes, then okay, we'll delete it. If not, then we will stop. Now to delete it, we're going to say fetch, and we're going to fetch with backticks a slash, and then we're going to put the video, and this is going to be ID that they want to delete, slash delete, slash, and we're going to say the method is equal to post, and we're going to say headers is equal to, and we need to submit a CSRF token. So I'm going to show you how to do this, but we need to make a variable to store the token. So we're going to say const CSRF is equal to, and this is going to be in single quotes, CSRF underscore token, which we need when we kind of submit this form data. So for the headers, we're going to include a header, which is X dash, and then CSRF token, colon, and then CSRF. Like that. So that's the variable that we want to include when we delete this. We then are going to put a, no pun intended, dot then. We're going to say r.json. We're going to put another dot then, and this is going to be data, like so. And we're going to say if data dot success, then window dot location dot href is going to be equal to, in single quotes, we're going to get the URL. So we're going to say URL for, in double quotes, videos, colon, list. Okay, so we're just going to go back to the video page. Else, we're going to alert, and we're going to say data dot error or failed to delete. Okay, then lastly, we'll have a dot catch, and in the dot catch, we will simply alert them, alert failed to delete. Okay, and that should be it for deleting the video. Now we just need to call this delete function, which we're going to do directly on our button. So here we're going to call the delete video. So to do that, we just say delete video, and then we pass in here the video.id, and that's enough. Now when we press that button, it will trigger this function that we wrote down here and delete the video. So let's try it. Let's go here. Let's refresh. Let's go to our video. Okay, let's press delete and okay. And let's wait a second, and it looks like it was deleted, brought us back here, and now we are good to go. Okay, so now since we've deleted a video, let's try to upload one. So let's just go test hello world with a thumbnail. So let's select this, and for the thumbnail, let's just make sure this works by selecting one. So let's go here, one of my YouTube thumbnails, okay, and let's go upload video. And let's just wait a minute here and see if this video uploads successfully. So I was just trying to upload a video with a thumbnail, and I was getting some problems because I had an error inside of my ImageKit client. So in this file, in the upload thumbnail folder, or function, sorry, I accidentally spelled file data incorrectly. So it should be file data, not date, like I had there. So I'm just going to fix that, and now it should work when I try to upload something with a thumbnail. So let's try this, and let's see if it works with the custom thumbnail. Okay, and while that uploads, I also just found another spelling mistake where I had file date, but it should be file data here. So as soon as everything is spelled correctly and you don't have any typos in your variable names, we should be good to go. We're running this again now, and let's see if this is able to upload and give us the custom thumbnail. Fingers crossed, should be done any second now. And then we can also go check ImageKit and see if it uploaded the thumbnail correctly. Okay, yay. And this time you can see the thumbnail's uploaded. Looks nice. We can see my beautiful face here. However, it's not showing it in the background of the video, so that's a little bit strange. Let's have a look at why we're getting that issue, but it is working in the main view. Okay, so I found the issue here. I was just in my video player in the detail, and for the poster, I was displaying the video.display thumbnail, but I was missing underscore URL. So I just added underscore URL here to the poster name, so the variable name matched. And now you can see it's loading the correct thumbnail here before the video plays. Perfect. So we now have the delete function working. We have the ability to upload thumbnails. All of that is good. Now let's move on to incrementing the views as well as our voting. Okay, so first let's start with the views. In order to do that, we're just going to go to our views.py, and when we go to video detail, we're going to increment the number of views that a video has. So to do that, we're simply just going to say video.views plus equals 1, because we got the video, and we're going to say video, okay, dot save, and we're going to say update underscore fields, is equal to, okay, and this is going to be views. Perfect. So if we do that, we're all good. And now it just adds the number of views. Now what we want to do is we want to start handling our votes. So we're going to go to models.py and we're going to create a new model, which is going to allow us to store a user's vote. And then we're going to start working with that for incrementing and decrementing the votes. So we're going to have class, and this is going to be video like, and I'm saying vote, but I mean likes. And this is going to inherit from models dot model like so. Then what we're going to do is we're going to say a like is equal to 1, a dislike is equal to -1, and we're going to say like choices is equal to, and this is going to be a list of tuples where we have like associated with like. Okay, this can be a capital L, and we have dislike associated with dislike, like that. Okay, we're going to use these variables in a minute. Now for each like, we're going to have user. So we're going to say models.foreignkey, and this is going to be users, and then on delete models.cascade. We're then going to say video is equal to models.foreignkey. So we're going to say video, and then on delete models.cascade, and we're going to say related underscore name is equal to user underscore likes. Now, effectively, what we're doing is we're creating a relationship between a user and a video. So anytime a user likes, we either are storing that they liked or they disliked it. So either a positive one or a negative one, right? That's what we're going to be storing. So for each user and each video, they can have this association. So one user can only like a video one time. We're then going to have a value, and the value is going to be models.small integer field. And the choices that are available is going to be the like choices. And then we're going to have created at is equal to models.datetime field, auto add now equals true. We're then going to have class, and we're going to say meta, and we're going to say unique underscore together is equal to user and video. Now this will prevent us from having duplicate likes from the same user on the same video. And we'll just quickly implement a string method. So define underscore underscore string. Okay, and then self. And we're going to say action liked. So action is equal to liked if self.value is equal to self.like. Else, we're going to say like this, else disliked. And then we're going to return an f string. And this f string is going to say self.user.username action self.video.title. Okay, so now we have the model. Now what we're going to have to do is add a migration. So we're going to stop the server, and we're going to say uv run manage.py make migrations. Okay, we're then going to say uv manage.py migrate. Okay, so now the database is all set up to handle our new likes. Okay, then we can rerun the server again. So we've got it going. Perfect. Now we have the model. We're going to go to views, and we're going to create a view to allow the user to essentially like the post. So in order to do that, we're going to write another function. We're going to say at login required, as well as at require post. And we're going to say define video vote. Okay, so like or dislike. We're going to say request, and then video underscore ID. And what we're going to do is get the video. So we're going to say video is equal to get object or 404, and then video, and the ID is equal to video ID. We're going to say the vote type is equal to request.post.get, and we're going to get the vote. We're then going to say if the vote type is is not in, and this is going to be like or dislike, then we're going to return a JSON response, and we're going to say success equals false and error invalid vote with status equal to 400 because that's not valid. And we're going to say value is equal to video like dot like if vote underscore type is equal to like. Okay, else we're going to say video like dot dislike, and we're going to make sure that we imported video like from our models. So we're going to say video like here from models. Okay, scroll back down. So we're essentially getting the value if what they submitted is valid. Then we're going to check if they have an existing vote. So we're going to say existing vote is equal to video like dot objects dot filter. And we're going to say user is equal to the request dot user, and the video is equal to video dot first. Now, if they have an existing vote, we essentially need to flip their vote. So we're going to say if existing vote, and if the existing vote dot value is equal to the current value, then we're going to say if value is equal to video like dot like, then what we need to do is say video dot likes minus equals 1, else video dot dislikes minus equals 1, and then we're going to say here existing vote dot delete, okay, and the user underscore vote is equal to none. So essentially what we're saying is if they've already liked or disliked the video and they do that action again, that's the equivalent of reversing that action. So if they liked the video, we subtract a like. If they disliked the video, we subtract a dislike, and then we remove their existing vote because they effectively have no vote now. We say the user vote is equal to none because they're doing the same thing they've already done, which is neglecting the thing they've already done. Now otherwise, so if the value is not the same, they're switching their vote. So if they switch their vote, we're going to say if value is equal to video like dot, and this is like, then we need to invert it. So we're going to say video dot likes plus equals 1, else, or not else, but just otherwise, video dislikes minus equals 1. Okay, and then otherwise we flip this. So otherwise video dot likes, okay, minus equals 1, and video dot dislikes plus equals 1. Okay, and then we say the existing vote dot value is equal to whatever value they've submitted now, and then existing vote dot save, and then user vote is equal to the value. Okay, now otherwise, if they didn't have an existing vote, they have a new vote, so we say video like dot objects. Okay, so let's do this, dot objects dot create, user is equal to request dot user, video is equal to video, value is equal to value. We say if the value is equal to video like dot like, then the video dot likes plus equals 1, else the video dot dislikes plus equals 1, and we say the user vote is equal to the value, right, that they submitted, and then we're going to say video dot save and update fields is equal to the likes and the dislikes. Okay, then we're going to return the JSON response. So return JSON response. And in here, we're going to include the likes, which is the video.likes, and the dislikes, which is the video.dislikes, and then the user underscore vote, which is the user vote. And this needs to be in quotation marks. Okay. So that is pretty much it. That's going to handle the voting, which I know is a little bit complicated, but essentially you have to handle if they already voted, if they're toggling the vote, if it's a new vote. So those are all of the cases that we have to deal with. Now that we have that, let's make the URLs for essentially liking or disliking. So in order to do that, we're going to go here and we're going to say path. Okay. And then we need int : video. Okay. And then this is going to be slash, and we will go with vote, and then slash, and then this is going to be views.video vote, and the name will be vote. Okay, and now we're going to go to our detail view, and we're going to write the code to display the number of likes and dislikes, as well as to allow them to vote. So all we actually need to do is we need to go down here, we need to write a function. Okay, and this function is just called vote, and takes in a video ID and a vote type. Okay, now from here, we have to just start by saying, okay, %%, if not user.is underscore authenticated, then we have to say window.location, so .location .href is equal to, and this is going to be inside of a string, %%, and then URL, and this is accounts, and then login because they cannot vote unless they are logged in, and then return, and then we're going to say %% and if like that. Okay. Then what we're going to say is fetch. We're going to put backticks, and we're going to say slash, and then we're going to do $, and then this is going to be video.id, or video ID, sorry, /vote, and then slash. Then we're going to say the method is a post request, and we're going to say the headers. So let's actually just fix this to go in here. We're going to say headers like this is equal to content dash type, and this is going to be application /x dash www dash form dash URL encoded, and then this is going to be x dash CSRF token equal to the CSRF variable that we defined below. And then we need to say the body is equal to, and this is just going to be inside of backticks, and simply vote equals to, and then this is going to be the vote type like so. Okay, so that should submit the vote. We then are going to have a dot then. The dot then is just going to get the response and return the response.json. We then have another dot then, so let's just make these a bit more proper. This one is going to take in the data, and it's going to adjust the UI. So we're going to say document.get element by ID, and this is going to be the like dash count, okay, dash text. Content is going to be equal to data.likes. So we're going to update that. Then we're going to copy this, paste it. We're going to change this to the dislike count, and this is going to be data.dislikes. Then we are going to have same thing, document.get element. This time it's going to be query selector. So we're going to say query selector all, and this is going to be dot vote dash btn. Okay, and then dot, we're going to say for each. And then what we're going to do here is we are going to have a function where we take in a button. We're going to say button.classList, and then this is going to be dot remove active. Okay, we're going to just essentially affect the classes so you can see if we voted or not for a particular entry. And we're going to say if data.user_vote is triple equal to 1, then document.query selector, and like this, we're going to say in single quotes data, okay, this needs to be inside of square brackets, data-vote equals, and then double quotes, like dot class list, and then we're going to say dot add, and then this is going to be active, and then we're going to copy this same thing, and we're going to do it for the dislike. So let's copy this, paste this down here, and we're going to say if the vote is -1, so else if, then query selector dislike like that, and same thing, add active. Okay, now that's going to update the UI to reflect if we voted for this or not. However, what we need to do as well is we now need to add the active styles based on if a user voted for it or not by default. So inside of the class where we have the vote button, we're going to put the following, and we'll get this information later, but we need to put vote button back. We're going to say %% if, and this is user_vote is equal to 1. So this is what their current vote is. We're going to say active, okay, %, and if. All right, now we're just going to copy the same thing, and we're going to put this down in the vote button here, but we're going to check if their vote is -1. So essentially we're saying, okay, if they voted for this, we want to add the active tag. If they didn't vote it for it, don't add the active tag. And then we're handling that same kind of logic in the vote function down here when they press it, so it dynamically updates. Now, the only thing we're missing is that we need to pass the user's current vote in this video detail view so that we know who they voted for when we go to that page. So let's do that now. In order to do that, it's pretty easy. We're going to go here. We're going to say user vote is equal to none. We're then going to say if request.user.is authenticated. Then we're going to say like is equal to video, let's do this, video like dot objects dot filter. Okay, and we're going to filter user is request dot user, and the video is equal to the video. Okay, and we're going to get dot first. We're then going to say if like, then we will say, so if like, the user vote is like dot value, like this. And then we're going to pass here the user underscore vote equal to the user vote. Okay, so that we know what the user voted for when we render that page. So that should handle the voting. Now let's go back here. Let's refresh. Let's make sure we're running our server because probably we had some error that crashed it. So let's have a look here. And it still says some issue with the path. So let's fix our URL and just make this correct because we need the slash outside of this. Okay, save. And let's see now if we can rerun this. Okay, it looks like it's running. So now let's go back here and refresh. And it said got unexpected keyword update field. Okay, so this should be update fields. Let's go back here to where we're saving the video in our views. Okay, so let's look for save. Update fields should be view. Okay, let's save that. And let's refresh. And we got a triple equal sign issue here. Okay, so that's because we need to use a double equal sign because we're working in Python templating engine. So let's go fix this triple equal sign, which I believe is right here. Okay, so we have 3 equal signs. Let's make this 2 and then go back here and save. And there we go. It's working now. So now if I like, you can see that actually for some reason it's not updating, which to me I think indicates that for some reason the vote function is not being called. Let's quickly inspect this and see if we're getting any errors in the console. And let's refresh. And let's try this, and it's saying internal server error. Okay, so let's see what that problem is. Okay, so small error just in our URL. We had video when it should say video ID because we were just mismatching the parameter names for our view, which said video ID. So this needed to say video ID. So let's go back now and refresh and try to vote. And you can see that we can like and we can dislike. However, there's some error when we're disliking. Okay, so let's have a look at that. Okay, so I just had the data vote here as like, but it should be dislike. So if we fix that now, we should be good to go, and we should no longer get that error. Okay, so now we can close this, and the voting is functioning. All of that is good. We can vote on other videos, and you see that it is working, and we can even toggle it on and off, and we are good to go. Now that handles pretty much all of the core functionality. We have the voting, we have the deleting. Now the last thing I want to show you is just watermarking the thumbnails or potentially the videos as well, because it's a really cool feature that ImageKit has. So let's dive into that. Okay, so when I'm talking about watermarking, what I mean is essentially adding some text or like an image on top of, for example, the video or the thumbnail, like you kind of see in YouTube, right, when they have like the channel icon in the bottom right-hand corner. Now, we're not going to do that exactly, but I'm just going to show you a way that you could do it because it's a really cool thing that ImageKit has. So you can see, actually, if I go to this documentation here, add overlay on videos, that if we simply add a transform parameter to the end of our image or video URL, we're able to actually add an image or text or whatever we want directly on top of, in this case, it's showing video, but we can also apply these on tops of images. So for example, you can see it added the ImageKit.io branding on top of this video here by simply loading with this, right? Like ilogo.png. So we can do this as well. And what I'm going to do is just show you how to do this really quickly, where we change like the positioning, the width, the height, the size of text directly on the image. So rather than putting hello, we're going to put the user's channel name in the top left-hand corner of the image, specifically just on the thumbnail, just so I can show you how you would do something like that. So let's go back to our code. What we're going to do is we're going to pop into the ImageKit client, and we're going to write a function that will allow us to essentially apply this transformation to our images. So what we can do is we can say define and then get, and we'll do underscore get underscore watermark underscore transformation. And we're going to take in the username, which is a string, and we're going to return a string. Now from here, we're going to say return, and we're going to return a list of transformations that will essentially put the user's channel name in the top left-hand corner. Now to do that, we're going to say ltext. This is large text. We're then going to say f, and this is going to be i-username. This is specifying the text that we want to render. and the f string should work there. Yeah, I think that's fine. We're then going to say LFO dash bottom underscore left. Okay, then we're going to say LX dash 10. So let's put this here. LX, where's LX? LX dash 10. And actually, we're going to remove this return type because this is giving us an error here. So LX dash 10, and then comma LY. So we'll put these together, LY dash 10. Then we're going to put FS and 16. This is font size 16. We're then going to put CO, which is color, and we're going to put FFFFFF, and that's 6, which I believe is going to make that fully black for us. Then we're going to put BG dash and then 0000060. And let me make sure I have the correct number of zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 60. Okay. And then we're going to put a comma here. And then we're going to put PA-4_8. Okay. And then we're going to put L-end. So what we're specifying in L text and L end, sorry, this is not large text, this is the beginning of the text, this is the end of the text, is all of the stuff that we want to do for these text transformations. Now, I don't remember all of them off by heart, but essentially you can find all of them in the documentation. So for example, like it shows you the positioning, right, using LX, LFO, so go left side, go up, right, all of that kind of stuff. You can add the background to it. So I was just using some of the examples that I saw here directly in the documentation. PA is like padding, so how much padding you're going to have between the background. So anyways, that's the transformation that we're going to have. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to apply this transformation inside of my thumbnail URL. So when we say get thumbnail URL, we take in the width, we take in the height. We're also going to take in a username. So we're going to say username string, right? And then is equal to none. So then actually I'm just realizing I don't need this width or height, so I'm going to remove these for now. Then I'm going to say transformation is, or transformations is equal to get watermark transformation for the username. Okay, so we have our transformations, and then we're going to say underscore tr is equal to transformations like that. Now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to copy this because I'm going to make another function, and I'm going to call this add underscore image underscore watermark. And this time we're going to take in same thing, base URL and username. However, we're just going to apply the transformation to this base URL. Now I know it's a little bit repetitive, these functions, but we need them for different reasons, so that's why I have them. Okay, so we have the add image watermark and the get thumbnail URL. We're now going to go to models.py and we're going to change how we are getting the watermarked kind of thumbnail here. Okay, so when I get the display thumbnail URL, what I'm going to do is I'm now going to return, and I'm going to bring in this function. So let's call it here add image watermark, and I'm going to apply that here. So I'm going to say add image watermark, and I'm going to pass this as well as the self.user.username. And then I believe that should be good, and that should allow me to add the watermark to the thumbnail, although I'm not 100% sure. So let's go back here now and let's test this. Now you can see that these thumbnails are not loading yet, and that's because we're applying the transformation for the first time. So when we do that, it does take a second. However, they should eventually load, and then we should be able to see our username in the top left-hand corner of these newly generated thumbnails. Okay, so I was just looking at this because I was getting some issues, and I forgot that I have to add commas to the end of all of the values here inside of the tuple. Otherwise, they won't get combined together. So I'm just doing that now, and then going back, and I'm going to test this again because it was telling me that I was getting some kind of invalid transformation here. Looks like it's still giving me that issue, so let me see what's wrong. Okay, so I was just getting some issue here, and I realized that what I need to do is just join this to be a proper string. So I'm just going to add this kind of join operation here to this tuple that's being returned whenever I'm using this function now. So let's go here and just add this so that hopefully it gives us the correct transformation. So now if I go here and refresh, you can see that there we go. It's loading the thumbnail with our little name in the top left-hand corner. Now it's very hard to see right now. However, if I zoom in, you can see it says Time1234 or 123, and we can make that larger, obviously, if we wanted to kind of brand it better. In fact, if we wanted to test that, let's go back to the code and let's go to our transformation. Okay, and by the way, I added commas to all of the values here, and let's make this like 32, for example. And now if we refresh, Okay, I think it's a little bit larger now, so you can see it, Tim8-123. Okay, and we can see that it's a little bit larger, I believe. However, the other ones are still loading. And again, it does take a few seconds to load the transformations here, but you should see the watermarking kind of branding appearing. And now you can see some of the other ones have loaded. However, for some reason, it's showing none when it's generating the name, so I don't know why that's the case. But at least it is, loading this. Okay, so the transformations are working, but let's have a look in our models just to see for some reason why it's not giving us the correct thing. And that's because we have get thumbnail URL, but we didn't pass the username, so self.user.username, and that should fix that problem for us and no longer render it as none. Let's refresh. And in a second here, we should see that we get the correct name. Let's check. Okay, we can see it's now loaded, and if we look, I know it's kind of small, but it shows Tim8-123 on the top of the thumbnail there. And then, of course, if we start playing the video, that's going to go away because I didn't add it on the video. I just added it on the image. Cool. Okay, so at this point, guys, that's going to wrap up this video. That's completed everything from writing this YouTube clone. Now, I know it was a lot of effort. I know it was a lot of code, but this has hopefully given you a really solid base for dealing with images in videos and all of the transformations and things that you can apply by using something like ImageKit. So again, a massive thank you to them for sponsoring this video. If you guys want any of the code, it will all be available from the link in the description to download. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these types of tutorials, so definitely let me know, and I will see you in another video.